a must watch. Ain't no console war, just two brothers being a font. What's up, PlayStation got the Saturdays locked, and if you ain't tuning in, you missing out. Get blocked.
What's up? What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation. What's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
Yo, listen, man. I really do appreciate everyone that always comes through to rock out with me and Bari, man, on What's Up PlayStation podcast. A podcast by fans for the fans, or by the community for the community, I should say. Listen, man. For me, man, I'm gaming with Persona. If you enjoyed listening, definitely subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm a PlayStation fan too.
Yo, what's up, everyone? What's up, PlayStation Nation? You are now tuned in to the What's Up PlayStation podcast.
What's up? What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation. What's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation. What's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. You already know what you're getting, and that is facts with a discussion. The greatest to bless the mic without the needless interruption. Face it, we got an anatomy like a little bite of me for a concussion. You know what's up, man. I mean it when I seen it. I was proud of these brothers. They entertain the people every week without cussing, and you don't ever hear the drama. They keep it clean on the podcast. Independent duo doing it big when they broadcast. Haters hate to see them doing positive things. PlayStation Nation got you, ain't it obvious, man? We pulling up every week and showing love in the chat. Unlike these other channels, these guys are showing their back. Like, what's up?
What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation. What's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation. What's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. Persona, the gaming politician, politicking for the come up. Division and vision require precision, decision that gotta be thought up. The potential is exponential. Gamer credentials is what they brought us. Get caught up. You know, Bari bring the passion when he's speaking from the heart. He the best lisp on YouTube, climbing up the charts. And when Persona speaks, he gon' tear the mic apart. Intellectually, of course, cause you know the boy's smart. They cover the news with integrity, so you know it's a must watch. Ain't no console war, just two brothers being a font. What's up, PlayStation got the Saturdays locked, and if you ain't tuning in, you missing out. Get blocked.
What's up? What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation. What's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation. What's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
Yo, listen, man. I really do appreciate everyone that always comes through to rock out with me and Bari, man, on What's Up PlayStation podcast. A podcast by fans for the fans, or by the community for the community, I should say. Listen, man. For me, man, I'm gaming with Persona. If you enjoyed listening, definitely subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm a PlayStation fan too.
Yo, what's up, everyone? What's up, PlayStation Nation? You are now tuned in to the What's Up PlayStation podcast.
What's up? What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation. What's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation. What's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. You already know what you getting, and that is facts with a discussion. The greatest to bless the mic without the needless interruption. Face it, we got an anatomy like a little bite of me for a concussion. You know what's up, man. I mean it when I seen it, I was proud of these brothers. They entertain the people every week without cussing. And you don't ever hear the drama, they keep it clean on the podcast. Independent duo doing it big when they broadcast. Haters hate to see them doing positive things. PlayStation Nation got you, ain't it obvious, man? We pulling up every week and showing love in the chat. Unlike these other channels, these guys are showing their back like, what's up?
What it is, what it do, what's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? J Bari and Persona got it live in the tug. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do, what's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? J Bari and Persona got it locked in the tug. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. Persona, the gaming politician, politicking for the come up. Division and vision require precision, decision that gotta be thought of. The potential is exponential. Gamer credentials is what they brought us. Get caught up. You know, Bari bring the passion when he's speaking from the heart. He the best lisp on YouTube, climbing up the charts. And when Persona speaks, he gon' tear the mic apart. Intellectually, of course, cause you know the boy's smart. They cover the news with integrity, so you know it's a must watch. Ain't no console war, just two brothers being a font. What's up, PlayStation? Got the Saturdays locked. And if you ain't tuning in, you missing out. Get blocked.
What's up? What it is, what it do, what's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? J Bari and Persona got it live in the tug. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do, what's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? J Bari and Persona got it locked in the tug. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
Yo, listen, man. I really do appreciate everyone that always comes through to rock out with me and Bari, man, on What's Up PlayStation Podcast, a podcast by fans for the fans, or by the community for the community, I should say. Listen, man. For me, man, I'm gaming with Persona. If you enjoyed listening, definitely subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm a PlayStation fan too.
Yo, what's up, everyone? What's up, PlayStation Nation? You are now tuned in to the What's Up PlayStation Podcast.
What's up? What it is, what it do, what's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? J Bari and Persona got it live in the tug. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do, what's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? J Bari and Persona got it locked in the tug. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. You already know what you getting, and that is facts with a discussion. The greatest to bless the mic without the needless interruption. Face it, we got an anatomy like a little bite of me for a concussion. You know what's up, man. I mean it when I seen it, I was proud of these brothers. They entertain the people every week without cussing. And you don't ever hear the drama, they keep it clean on the podcast. Independent duo doing it big when they broadcast. Haters hate to see them doing positive things. PlayStation Nation got you, ain't it obvious, man? We pulling up every week and showing love in the chat. Unlike these other channels, these guys are showing their back like, what's up?
What it is, what it do, what's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? J Bari and Persona got it live in the tug. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do, what's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? J Bari and Persona got it locked in the tug. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. Persona, the gaming politician, politicking for the come up. Division and vision require precision, decision that gotta be thought of. The potential is exponential. Gamer credentials is what they brought us. Get caught up. You know, Bari bring the passion when he's speaking from the heart. He the best lisp on YouTube, climbing up the charts. And when Persona speaks, he gon' tear the mic apart. Intellectually, of course, cause you know the boy's smart. They cover the news with integrity, so you know it's a must watch. Ain't no console war, just two brothers being a font. What's up, PlayStation? Got the Saturdays locked. And if you ain't tuning in, you missing out. Get blocked.
What's up? What it is, what it do, what's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? J Bari and Persona got it live in the tug. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do, what's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? J Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
Yo, listen, man. I really do appreciate everyone that always comes through to rock out with me and Bari, man, on What's Up PlayStation Podcast, a podcast by fans for the fans, or by the community for the community, I should say. Listen, man. For me, man, I'm gaming with Persona. If you enjoyed listening, definitely subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm a PlayStation fan too.
Yo, what's up, everyone? What's up, PlayStation Nation? You are now tuned in to the What's Up PlayStation Podcast.
What's up? What it is, what it do, what's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? J Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do, what's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? J Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introductions. You already know what you're getting, and that is facts with a discussion. The greatest to bless the mic without the needless interruption. Face it, we got an anatomy like a little bite of me for a concussion. You know what's up, man. I mean it when I seen it. I was proud of these brothers. They entertain the people every week without cussing, and you don't ever hear the drama. They keep it clean on the podcast. Independent duo doing it big when they broadcast. Haters need to see them doing positive things. PlayStation Nation got you, ain't it obvious, man? We pulling up every week and showing love in the chat. Unlike these other channels, these guys are showing their bag like, what's up?
What it is, what it do, what's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? J Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do, what's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? J Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. Persona, the gaming politician, politicking for the come up. Division and vision require precision, decision that gotta be thought of. The potential is exponential. Gamer credentials is what they brought us. Get caught up. You know, Bari bring the passion when he's speaking from the heart. He the best lisp on YouTube, climbing up the charts. And
I'm a PlayStation fan too. What's good, YouTube? What's good, PlayStation Nation? It is your boy Persona of Gaming with Persona and one half of the What's Up PlayStation Podcast crew. And I'm coming at you guys with episode 97 of What's Up PlayStation Podcast. And remember, guys, this is a podcast for the community, by the community. And listen, guys, we got a great show for you guys today. We do have a special guest. We got a lot of great news. We got community topics this week, right? You know, for those that are new, if you are a member on the channel, the first podcast of every month, we do community topics, and that's when I throw the question out there to the community like the day or two before, and I'm like, hey, you know what topic or topics do you want the WUPS boys, me and Bari, to talk about? So this week, there's a lot of great questions and topic choices in there. So we're definitely going to get through that. But listen, guys, What's Up PlayStation Podcast it's not a one-man show. This isn't When Persona Speaks. This is What's Up PlayStation Podcast. We are a two-man show. And I got to introduce the king of the Bronx, the best lisp on YouTube. You understand? The COD God, the Grand Blue Fantasy God. I know he hype. The fighting game guru, my boy Bari in the building. Bari, what's good, brother?
Yeah, hey yo, man, that is a prop up intro right there. Talking about fighting game guru, your Persona, you just set me up right
yes,
there, man.
Yes, sir. You already know, brother. You already know.
Everybody gonna be in my DMs. I'm like, yo, Bari, I want to pull up.
Bari, how do I do this again?
Hey yo, listen.
What's good with you, brother?
One thing I definitely will say though is when Tuesday hit, y'all better be downloading that Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. I tell you that. I don't care if you suck at fighting games. I don't care if you don't play fighting games. I need you to download that game. It's a great story. Also, it's a great RPG mode that you can play with friends and all that stuff. So definitely go and download it so you can get the lore of Grand Blue. So when Grand Blue Fantasy Relink comes out, you're going to be good to go. That's more like a spotlight thing. My bad. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yes, sir. Way ahead of yourself. No, but
my bad, man. What's good, guys, man? Appreciate everybody in the chat. Episode 97, right? Episode
97.
Episode 97.
We getting up there in the episodes, man. Like, we definitely gonna be doing something special for episode 100. That's 3 episodes away. It's 3 episodes away. We definitely gotta do something really, really special for the community.
You can really say like 2 now, cause we in
2.
episode
Well, yeah,
97.
true,
You know
true.
what I mean?
2 episodes away. You're right.
Yeah, man. It's good to see the beautiful people in the chat, the PlayStation Nation. I see you guys, man. What is good, guys? Definitely hope you guys enjoying your Saturday. It's a beautiful day. Might as on what's today? September 3rd. Last of Us.
Yeah, it's getting
part 1 weekend.
Yo, it's listen. I hope y'all are playing Last of Us. I know, there is no hope. I know y'all are playing Last of Us. It is fire, right? But listen, guys. First off, Bari, I always say it every week, and I mean it. I wouldn't want to be nowhere but here doing What's Up PlayStation podcast with my bro Bari. Y'all already know, guys, and we appreciate y'all, the community. But listen, guys, it's not just me. It's not just me and Bari today. It's not. We are joined by a very special guest. Okay, listen, I told y'all, man. We gonna do things right here. We are joined by a very special guest. He is an animator, currently an animator for Sony Bend Studios, but he has worked previously. He was an animator for Visual Arts Studios, and he's worked on The Last of Us Part 1 remake, God of War 2018, Injustice 2, Resident Evil 7, you name it. Some of the biggest games in the industry, right? My man's just worked on. And he was gracious enough to come through to What's Up PlayStation podcast and rock out with me and Bari. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Robert Morrison to the show.
Thank you, fam. Appreciate it. Good morning to all the beautiful people out there. Nice to be with you.
Sir.
Yeah, yo, Robert, we appreciate you coming through the What's Up PlayStation podcast. It really means a lot to me and Bari. For the people that are new. Well, first off, how are you? Like, how is everything? Let me not even get into anything. How are you? How's everything? How's your day so far? How was your week? How are you?
I'm doing well. It was pretty stressful. Well, a mix of excitement and somewhat apprehension on how the game was going to be received by people, because you never know. So there was that unknown element mixed with that high level of excitement for a project that myself and many awesome people poured their hearts into. So, but yeah, it's been a good week.
I can only imagine, working on arguably one of the greatest games to release within our lifetime, right? Last of Us, being able to work on something like that and be a part of that. Yeah, be a part of that recreation of something that really defined a lot of other games that has so much success. I guess one of the things I definitely want to ask you is, so while working on the Last of Us remake, what was one of your biggest challenges that you personally faced during this development process?
So you're absolutely right. It's a game. It's a very high-profile game, and that's a big reason why I wanted to work on this game. I jumped at the opportunity when it was presented to me to join the team working on this game. I thought it would be a once-in-a-career kind of opportunity. So one of the biggest challenges, honestly, it was, and I was thinking about this a lot, character animation in general is super complex and difficult. When you're working on games, there's a high level of technical aptitude you have to have, as opposed to, say, if you were just animating for a film, right? But then there's also the creative side. So just every day working on character animation for games, it's a challenge. There's challenges every single day. But thinking about it, I would have to say that being patient with the high level of scrutiny that we were all faced with working on this project, that was something that kind of I had to. I'm a perfectionist in general, but I really had to kind of just be very patient with how I receive critique from team members and leads and directors and whatnot, and just being very mindful of the scope and the nature and the high profile project that we were working on. So we critiqued and criticized things to a level I really didn't experience before. So kind of wrapping my mindset around that was somewhat of a challenge, but it's super fun. It's just like every single frame is scrutinized when we're working on it, and I love that. That's kind of the environment I like to work in. But working on this particular project, it was just really on another level.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine, like, creating something like this, and the whole thing, I think, is just a lot of pressure for the people in the chat that don't know, right? Can you just give a quick synopsis of what is an animator? Like, what does an animator do at the game industry level? Because I know there's animators in movies and all these other things. At the game level, what is an animator's job?
It's the same pretty much no matter kind of what industry. Well, if you compare it to film, which is easy to do, our job at a high level is to bring characters to life, to tell a story through the emotion and the action of the characters that are in the game, and there's kind of two basic elements in games, and it's much more prevalent today with these super complex narrative driven story games that I personally love to work on and play. So you have the cinematic side, and then you have the gameplay side. You use the same techniques and principles of animation and whatnot, but they're different in a number of ways, and I won't go into high detail right now. But yeah, you're there to tell a story through emotions and actions and bringing these characters to life. That's what our job is, basically.
Yeah. I will say, playing The Last of Us 1 remake, the animation team, the whole team, I don't want to single out anybody, but the animation team absolutely delivered on bringing bringing Ellie, Joel, Tess, Bill, everyone to life, and conveying that emotion through the cutscenes and through the movement and even the little details. I was just talking to Bari about the workbench, right? Which the workbench is an entirely different, like, that's rebuilt. That wasn't in Last of Us 1 or even in the remaster. So building all of that and building the emotion through movement and through the facial expressions and things like that. Kudos to you all. You guys really knocked it out the park.
Absolutely.
The next question I want to ask, man, is, so this one's gonna be a bit controversial. But
we getting there.
Absolutely. Listen, on What's Up PlayStation Podcast, we actually gonna ask the good questions. You feel me?
Hey, bro, so they thought we was gonna ask this question.
absolutely. You know, come on. You know, we're not going not ask the question, right, Bari? All right. So, I'm sure you've seen the discourse surrounding The Last of Us remake's $70 price tag. You've personally been vocal about some calling it a quote unquote cash grab. Although we all agree that worth is subjective, the work that goes into these games is not up for debate. How do you and your developer friends feel when you see big outlets or influencers try to minimize your work down to just a cash grab?
Yes, sir. So I was vocal in the extent of making one single tweet about it. You know, I didn't elaborate per se, but yeah, I saw every day when I was working the immense amount of care and love and skill that people at Naughty Dog and the people at Visual Arts, which is a PlayStation studio that co-developed this game, The Last of Us Part 1. A lot of people don't know that, you know, which is, you know, it's okay. PlayStation kind of likes to keep their studio a little bit like low profile. So it's Naughty Dog's project, and Visual Arts supported that. We co-developed, but so I was able to see, obviously, the work that people were doing on the game, and I was really just blown away by watching many of the director reviews where they would go through the levels or go through, you know, whatever part of the game or segment of development that was being worked on, and they were reviewing it, and I would watch those daily, and just, you know, really blown away by the attention to detail that every single thing is scrutinized. So I kept seeing people talk about, you know, oh, it's a cash grab, it's blah blah, you know, etc. Which they're implying, you know, any product that a business sells, you know, they're doing it for money, right? There's no question about that. But kind of what a lot of people were implying was that we're just doing a half-assed job on this project and just to get money. And I was like, nah, yeah, I've been working my butt off for every single work day, and so have all of these great people that I had the opportunity to work together with, and everyone's putting their freaking passion into this game like most developers do. And so, you know, I was just thinking about it, and I didn't even want to make anything out of it. I was just like, wanted to kind of big up my coworkers. So
you should.
right.
Absolutely.
I mean, what's wrong with that? So yeah, I made the tweet. It went viral. All these news, quote, gaming news websites and whatnot are picking it up, and there's this huge narrative that's been developed and created after it, and people are, you know, whatever, you know how Twitter and the internet does.
Yep.
So I really didn't want to like make anything out of it other than, like I said, big up my coworkers and the team, and just let people know, hey, you know, we're working really hard on this stuff, and it's a labor of love. So, of course, there was that discourse about it for a while, which to me I find extremely silly. I have to be careful with my words, the things I say, because you know, I don't represent PlayStation, but I do work for them, and you know, I have to be respectful and mindful about the things that I say.
Don't worry, Robert.
I am in general.
Don't worry, Robert. We'll say it for you. You feel me?
Okay.
Don't worry.
Yeah,
it's us. We'll say it for you, Rob. It's all good. It's us saying it. Don't worry. But go ahead, continue.
But just real quickly, and I won't like go real far into this, but just quickly, it's like, and I'm sure a lot of people have thought about this, but it's silly. It's silly because if you think about it, what is your time worth? And when people are spending hours and hours and days and weeks and months talking about and complaining about like $10, you've like, what is your time worth? Because you just lost or wasted hundreds of dollars of your time talking about $10, and it's like, okay, think about it. Yeah. So
you know what's one thing a lot of people forget as well, Robert, is not just The Last of Us that you guys are rebuilding from the ground up. It's also the Left Behind DLC that people forget, that if you comparing it to like the original game as well, that was something that you had to pay extra for, and I think it was bundled with the remastered as well, right?
Yeah.
But that's double the work that you're rebuilding. It's not just that one game. It's also this expansion here that you're doing.
And I do recognize that times are tough, and games, it's a hobby, obviously, and it is expensive when you think about it kind of in a vacuum. Yes, buying one thing for $60, $70, it's an expensive purchase. But at the same time, it's also when you look at the dollar to number of hours of entertainment ratio, it's not, right? I mean, if you're playing a game for at the minimum 10 hours, 20 plus hours, and you look at how much that is per hour that you're kind of paying, and that's not even the point of it really anyways, but it's one thing. And the thing is also that people kind of forget is some people, not everyone, I know you guys are mindful of this, but everyone wants and expects, and rightfully so, games, at least for the AAA games, to be this, they're huge productions nowadays they're hundreds of millions of dollars are being spent and invested into these projects. And we as gamers, I'm a gamer first, we want high quality games that leave a lasting impact on us. And these are very expensive products to make. And we as gamers, we want games the quality of a Porsche, however you want to say it. But you can't then expect to pay. They
don't want to pay for it.
Toyota prices.
Exactly. Listen.
It's just games these days are so complex and huge endeavors that there's a price there, and if we want to continue to get these products, that I know PlayStation people in general, we love these AAA quote bangers, and we know that these are products that have hundreds, if not 1,000 or more people working on these things for years. These are huge productions, and there's a huge amount of money involved to create these productions. So there's going to be a price there, and at the end of the day, I'm spending $50 maybe for sushi, $10 for a venti latte and a lemon slice of lemon cake. I mean, what? Why?
Not the lemon cake. Not the lemon cake, man. You're going too far now, Robert. You're going too far.
I mean, he ain't say carrot cake, so we good.
Lemon cake.
Oh man, talk about it.
Yes, sir. Nah, I mean, you make a lot of great points, right? And this is something that both myself and Bari have been very vocal about. Not just on our What's Up PlayStation channel, but respectively on our respective channels as well, where I think we all see, and granted, like I said, worth is subjective, right? It's very subjective. One man's trash is another man's, like everyone's not going to view worth the same way. But right. I think being able to kind of, especially with this hobby of gaming, which is a necessity and not necessarily something you have to do, I think that we have to support you have to support the hobby. Think of gaming as an economy. You have to put back into it, because this is how new things are made. This is how new, sequels and all these things. I think that stuff is very important. And as someone that's been gaming for over 2 decades, 2+ decades, I'm happy to support the devs, man. And I stand by that. I've stood by that day one. And I'm not just saying that because you're here. I've been saying this for years.
I've heard you say it.
Yeah, I've been saying this for years. So on behalf of myself, thank you to the developers, to everyone that puts in the work to do what y'all do. I know it's not easy.
If you think about it, Persona, yes, you're supporting the developers because indirectly, because we have jobs to support ourselves and our families, et cetera. But when you're buying games, you're supporting yourself, because what you're doing is you're investing into something that you love. And when you buy games, then you are supporting, as you said, future productions that can be greenlit. And if no one's buying games, there's no more games to play, because there's no revenue for the studio to invest into future projects. And I see a lot of people talk about don't support corporations and stuff like that. It's like, okay, I understand that, but do we want more high quality products coming that we can enjoy and makes an impact on our lives? Yeah, we do. So at the end of the day, we have to buy these games, and I do it myself. I've been, like I said, I'm a gamer before a developer. So yeah, if we're not buying games and we're just kind of having a Netflix type subscription service, it's hard for these companies to justify these massive productions, right?
Facts. That is a fact.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Man, we could definitely dive down that hole right there, but we want to keep it.
Exactly.
Before we get back on track, Robert, I got to ask you this, because you said Visual Art Studios and Naughty Dog Project. Were you working at Naughty Dog there, or it was off studio thing, or working at home, or?
No, I did not work for Naughty Dog. I worked for PlayStation's Visual Arts. So
okay, so that's like a separate studio where you was working on the game.
Yes, Visual Arts is, as I have mentioned before. So Visual Arts is PlayStation's development, one of PlayStation's development studios that co-develops alongside many of the PlayStation first-party studios.
Kind of like an X-Dev kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of a secret almost, in that PlayStation doesn't really promote this studio, and it's not really the point of the studio. It's more of like, hey, we have these amazing first-party studios like Santa Monica, Sucker Punch, and Naughty Dog, and et cetera. How can we help them to create these amazing games? So Visual Arts is a studio that has worked on many of these AAA bangers that have been released already, and they're working on a number of things now still, and it's kind of just like that support team, co-developer studio that isn't really in the forefront. That's not the point of it, to be in the forefront. PlayStation likes to let the first party studios shine, and they just have a bunch of amazing talented people working there that are making these games alongside. And I didn't even know that until I applied there, and most people don't know that. But then I was like, oh snap, okay, I can work on all these badass games for studios that have turned me down in the past and still make it in the credits. All right, bet, I'm there. So I thought it was hilarious. Like, to myself, I was like, this is freaking hilarious to myself that these studios that I've applied at in the past, they've turned me down, and now I'm working on your game anyways. So I thought that was funny, just for
doing
me.
doing a bang up job too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But all right, let me ask you this, Mr. Robert Morrison. All right, are you ready, sir? Are you ready?
I was born ready.
Like fish and spaghetti. All right, let's get it. All right, man. So this is what I want to ask you. What really got you into gaming, and when did you realize that this was going to be the career path that you wanted to pursue?
I've been gaming since I was a kid. I'm old as hell, so you know I was playing Atari 2600 and television, ColecoVision, on and on and on. Games for me, and I don't want to get too serious with this interview. We're trying to keep it light, but you know, growing up, I had an abusive father, and gaming for me was an escape. I know a lot of people can relate to that, and you know, shout out to Pops. He always bought me all the consoles. Never played with me. He'd always tell me, go entertain yourself. But you know, shout out to Pops for buying all those consoles, because that kind of laid the foundation for the rest of my life. And you know, I love games like all of us here, and it was a super important thing to me growing up. So I didn't know that I wanted to be a game developer until I kind of became one. Interestingly enough, I'm going to date myself here, but in the early 90s, I'm from California. I'm from the Bay Area. That's where I was born and raised. I was working at the Academy of Arts University in San Francisco, working in the AV department. I had been making music for a number of years and was proficient with audio engineering and that sort of thing. So I was working at the Academy of Arts in the AV department, and I got a job interview. I applied at Lucasfilm at Skywalker Sound at Lucas Ranch, and for some reason they were like, okay, well, he has enough here that we'll at least give him an interview. So I had an on-site interview at Skywalker Sound. It was the most beautiful thing I had seen. The work environment, the ranch, Lucasfilm Ranch, at the time. And like a total fool, I had no idea what I was doing, so I wore a suit to this interview.
As you should.
Like, you'd think that'd be the thing to do, but not in a creative industry, right?
Yeah, I get you.
No, I'm not. They instantly knew, okay, this dude does not know what the hell is going on here, and I didn't. But so I didn't get the job, bro. You know my dip. You know my dip. You've seen my photos on Twitter. I got that drip and dip. But so that was a mistake, and I laugh about it today. But what it did was, I was so inspired by that work environment there that I was like, okay, I want to do something else so that I can get into there. I wanted, I loved Star Wars growing up. I wanted to get a job at ILM. That was my goal. So because I worked at the Academy of Arts really quick, I was able to take a free class. They had just started their first 3D modeling program class. So I took this 3D class, and I was just like, this comes really natural to me. This is freaking super exciting to me. And I loved it. So I studied there for like 2 years, animation. And my goal was, I want to work at ILM, but I love games. So I started working on games while I was still a student, and got hired out of school by funny enough, by a ex-ILM art director at a game studio. and I started working on PlayStation 1 games, and
PlayStation in your blood, huh?
Yes,
oh yeah,
sir.
I've been making PlayStation games.
Okay.
So, but yeah, long story short, worked in the industry for 6 years, worked my way up to a lead animator. I was at Digital Anvil, and I worked for DreamWorks and Crystal Dynamics and all these studios. Maxis, I worked on the original Sims, and I worked on an original Xbox game for the first Xbox, Brute Force. And yeah, that's kind of how it went for the first 6 years. Yeah.
Brute
I
Force
know a
is
lot
such
of
a great
Xbox
game.
people like they live and die by Brute Force too.
Yeah, it's a great game.
That's like the first Gears of War, right? Something like that.
Right.
It was a great game. Really great game. I enjoyed that game.
Well, nice.
I could talk forever, but I don't want to take over the whole show here.
No, the next question I want to ask you, because this goes, in tandem with what I just asked before, is like, we know that the games industry is pretty much like a very risky business. People get fired, they get let go, hired back and forth all day long. But what keeps you motivated to staying within the games industry, or just within just developing games in itself?
Yeah, to kind of just piggyback a little bit on what I was just talking about. That's a great question, because it's a very stressful career. And after I worked in the industry for 6 years, I took a 12-year break. I wanted to do my own thing, pursue my own creative dreams per se. I took a 12-year break after the first 6 years, and I tried to start my own video game company. I worked on my music career for a number of years, and I became a tattoo artist. That was a childhood dream of mine. I love tattoos, if that's kind of obvious.
Yes, sir. We definitely see that.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pursue these dreams that I've held since I was a kid. I'm not getting younger. I'm gonna make this happen and do this now. So yeah, I became a tattoo artist. Was an apprentice for a year, scrubbing toilets and mopping floors every day for free. And when I was working as a tattoo artist, I really missed working on video games. I missed being a part of a professional team. And I told myself, you know what? All right, I accomplished this dream that I wanted to do, but animation's my main passion. That's the thing that I truly love. So I went back to school and started from the beginning again. I went to Animation Mentor, which is an online program, enrolled in that while I was working as a tattooer. And, I went back to school for 20 months and graduated, and then started working in the industry again. I got hired like a month after graduating, worked on Resident Evil 7,
Nice.
then Injustice 2, etc., and then just kept working my way up through the industry again. So the point is, I had that 12-year break from game development, because it is a stressful career, and it is really hard to sustain for a long time. And it's not like we're out there doing physical labor, most of us. We as animators, yes sir, it's a mental thing. And it really drains your brain, because you're just constantly, it's just very difficult. I don't want to compare it to anything else. That wouldn't be right.
Well, I was gonna say, I could imagine. First off, very, very inspiring. Robert, you definitely a get it out the mud type of guy. I'm getting that vibe, man. Like you,
guy, man. You
very dedicated. Like you definitely
a 12-year break like that. It's not an easy thing to go right back into that and study and all that stuff.
And then to come back after 12 years and go to school for 20 months and then get a job after, and then you work on these big games like RE7, Injustice 2, God of War 2018, and now Last of Us 1 remake. Yo, that's a feat, man. Like those are some really great games that I've released within the gaming community. So that's a hell of an impressive resume. You know, so I definitely want to, you know, commend you for that. I think with the stress, and this is kind of like when you talk about the stress of development, I know the work itself is definitely, I can just imagine like being in IT, you know, I could just imagine like what that type of thing is on, or at your level and at your caliber with trying to build something that's going to reach potentially millions of people and be judged by millions of people and all those other things. But I guess my question is, outside of that work part of it, of actually trying to create and build something, does any of that stress of being a developer also come from the community? And I don't mean like people harassing you and things like that, but I think
on the gun.
but I think does any of that stress of that public perception and just dealing with the gaming community or games media and all these other variables that are around, does that also add to the stress of being a game developer and building these projects?
I would say yes. You know, it's definitely much more prevalent for a lot of other people than I would say for myself personally. So there's obviously the element of high expectation, right? And very, very high expectation, especially when you're working at these high profile developers. So there's that element to it. And for a lot of people, yes, it can be very discouraging when you kind of delve into what the community may be saying about things. My skin is thick as skin can get. So a lot of this stuff, you know, it doesn't bother me personally. I don't dwell on it. I don't let any of this, you know, I've had people say all sorts of things to me. I mean, my face is tattooed and it's been tattooed for 14 years. So imagine the things that people have said to me. I've heard it all. So, and working as a tattoo artist was really difficult. So, you know, working as a game developer, to me, in comparison, and many things that I've experienced in my life in the past and growing up, it's like, this is kind of easy, but it can be very discouraging to when people are just saying negative things just for the sake of trying to hurt you, and for people that maybe haven't develops a thick skin in that regard, yeah, these things can be discouraging. They can make people depressed, and because people are just trying, like most people, are just trying to do the best they can in life, right? And you know that we all know that the internet can be nasty. It doesn't matter if it's games or Star Wars or whatever it is, there's somebody that's going to say something. And depending on how popular the thing is, there's going to be many, many, many somebodies saying things. So when developers read these things, yeah, it can affect them. And I don't think that it's fair. It's definitely not fair. You know, a lot of the things that people have issue with their games are often high-level decisions that the developers that are in the trenches don't really have input in. Often they're not making a lot of these decisions that people may not like. So, you know, there's 1,000 million variables and different scenarios we could talk about, but yeah, it definitely affects a lot of people.
Cool. Thank you for that. I got a good one, man. So you know, looking to the future, right? We see you've joined Sony, Ben. You know, congratulations to that. You know, that's definitely a big.
You gotta get that man.
thing.
Gotta get that man.
Yeah,
a trophy,
man. Gotta give him a trophy.
Light him up, guys. Light him up in the chat.
Yes,
You gotta
sir.
light him up in the chat,
Give him a
man.
plat for that, man.
boy.
Give him a plat for that. You know,
sir.
that's a platinum achievement. You know, so
Yes, sir.
I'm really happy. You know, Sony, Ben, I think is a
Appreciate it.
great team. You know, although you cannot give us any details, right? Can you tell us why Ben? You know, what set them apart from PlayStation's other first-party studios? And again, I'm not trying to take anything from Ben. I think they're phenomenal. I love Days Gone. I love the Siphon Filter series and all the great things that they've done. You know, looking at all of Sony's repertoire, what pulled you to Ben?
Interestingly enough, Bend wasn't really on my radar until Days Gone. I love Days Gone. I played it. I didn't finish it, but that's something I will go back and finish eventually. But I loved Days Gone, and yes, it had its little issues here and there, like every single game does. But to me, I was like, yo, I'm liking this game. This is fun. I really can appreciate the horde mechanics they have here and how you can be under attack and utilize different things in the environment to you know, to accomplish what you need to do. I was just like, yeah, this is a nice game. I really like this. Who made this? What's this about? So that was my exposure to Bend. They're not the most high profile first party studio, at least for me it wasn't. But so probably over a year ago, I applied there and started to go through the interview process and was speaking with the recruiter and whatnot. But at that time, they weren't able to allow full-time remote. And this was, you know, pandemic is booming. I wasn't trying to be in a studio anywhere, so I had to kind of turn down going any further in the process. But I kept thinking about Bend and thinking about him, and as my time was starting to wrap up on The Last of Us Part 1, you know, I started to look at my options and applied again at Bend. They contacted me, and the thing about Bend was the animation team. The animation team, the people there, is what truly sold me. And you know, everyone that was in the recruiting process were so professional, so kind, so thorough and thoughtful, and just I was like, these are people I really want to be a part of. I want to work with these people. I just thought it would be a great opportunity for me, and it was. And yeah, I can't talk about the game at all. I can't tell you any thoughts or impressions. But
no leaks.
I have a lot of faith in the future of Bend. And that was really one of the main things, the team, and then the future of the studio. I was like, okay, this is where I want to be. The vibes are really good here. And so yeah, I took the opportunity, and previously I was working contract at various studios. At least on The Last of Us Part 1, I was contract. Bend offered me a senior staff position. So
senior, okay, that's
what I was
good,
looking for years. I really wanted to be a staff animator employee at a first party Sony studio. That's been my goal. Ben was like, here it is. Yeah, so yeah,
that's good, man.
It was good fit.
That's good, man. Yo, congratulations to that. We're definitely glad that you're still staying within the home of PlayStation Studios. We'd hate to lose you to the competition, you know. But yeah, no, that's what's up, man. I think Ben is great. Can't wait to see what they're working on as well. So
yeah, for sure, man. I loved Days Gone as well. I felt like their open world approach something that a lot of open world should follow after. How the world itself is just attacking you. It's not just the whole freakers and all that. So there's traps and everything else. I was like, I'm loving this game, man. I was just riding my bike all day in that game, just loving that.
You could be riding your bike and a sniper in a tree just shoots you off, and it's like,
yep.
Like,
or you got a rope is tied up and it trips you down or something.
Yeah.
Or they set up a trap to bait you, like, oh, here's somebody need help, and it was so good, man.
Yeah, I really appreciate, and I agree. Like, listen, when it first released on PlayStation 4, it definitely had its problems, right? It had a lot of couple of glitches and frame rate issues and stuff like that. But once that stuff got smoothed out, man, it was still like a great experience. The story was great. Shout out to John Garvin and the team for all that they did, man. They really made a great game, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite games. So I agree, and I like that pedigree, and I look for opportunities, work opportunities, career opportunities at PlayStation Studios, because they make the kind of games I like to play personally. And there's a lot of great studios out there, a lot of opportunities these days for animators and other developers. But I love working for PlayStation Studios. They're the best of the best, and I want to be a part of that, because then I can really learn and grow in my own right. It's just it's where I like to be.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
I had such a fanboy response to that, but I was like, hold on, I'm on what's up.
definitely gonna clip that.
I love hearing it though. Real talk, I love hearing it.
Someone's definitely gonna clip that and use it for their own.
Yeah, like I said, I have to be careful with things I talk about. I don't want.
Of course.
The chat is definitely agreeing with you. They're like, yes, sir. But next question I want to ask you is, like, can you name your favorite project, and why is it The Last of Us Part 1 remake? How did you approach? What was your approach on whatever your favorite project was? I know The Last of Us Part 1 is a joke, but your catalog is pretty long. You know what I mean? Some of the games I'm seeing, God of War, Justice, Resident Evil 7. That's a pretty hefty resume there. But which one of those are like your favorite thing to work on? How was your approach to it?
You were actually correct.
Good God, look at that.
It likely would be The Last of Us, working on that. Every game is its own. Working on every different game at every different studio is obviously its own experience, right? And for me, working on video games is fun, man. I love it. It's stressful as hell. And, sometimes I'll be crying in the corner about what's going on. But, literally, like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? But, I love working on games. It's such a fun experience for me. So, it's a different experience for every studio. There's, I'm going to say, it's a toss-up between working on God of War 2018 at Santa Monica Studio, which was an amazing experience, and with The Last of Us. These were two very different things, because that was pre-pandemic when I worked at Santa Monica. So, I got to be in the studio next to my bros, and we're, shooting the shit, and I don't know if I can swear here.
Absolutely.
You're free to speak how comfortable you are. You don't have to worry about it. You could curse.
Okay. So yeah, it was a different experience, right? But it was an amazing experience, and it was definitely the highlight of my career, I think. Working with those amazing people at a super awesome studio. So working remote with another amazing group of people at Visual Arts was also awesome. It's just, I don't know, man. It's like, I'm just very thankful to be able to be with these great people. And you know, not every game has been, hey, this is amazing. You know, I've had experiences that were negative, and that's just the way life is, right? That's gonna happen anywhere.
Yeah, I get that.
But I'm just fortunate to work on games with people.
Yeah, because like I said, your resume is very impressive. So, and it's not like,
thank you.
These games are like huge anticipated games. So, you know, the pressure is on, but the fact that you're delivering with the pressure, that tells me a lot. Like, you're very poised at what you do. Like, you can take on all that pressure.
And we see the passion through the work, you know, like it's there, it's on display. You know, especially with this Last of Us remake, like I see the passion, I see the effort, the late nights, I see it all through the work, man. And I mean this, and I know I keep saying it because, you know, I say it to all the devs, man. We definitely appreciate all the work that y'all do in the gaming industry for us gamers, right? You know, because essentially you're creating this stuff for us, right? So
right.
We definitely, you know, I think I could speak for me and Bari, and even I think the people in our chat, where we say that, you know, as a community, we appreciate you, and we appreciate the teams and everyone that's putting the time into creating these masterpieces.
100%.
Thank you very much. I know every developer appreciates that, and you know, the feeling is mutual. Developers, yes, we want to make great products for ourselves and for our teams, and for the studio, but we also are doing the best damn job we can for the people, yourselves, all the people in the chat, you know, and we kind of feed off of each other, you know. It's not just one way, it's definitely like a mutual thing. It's very important for me to always recognize that everything I personally do when I'm working on a game is a team effort. Nothing I do, no game I've ever worked on or any project or anything has been just me. Everything is always a team effort, and I can't do my job without the help of many other people. So I always like to make that clear, at least for myself, that you know, it's all a team effort.
Yeah, no, definitely, I definitely understand that. Wow, this was really eye-opening for me. You know, Robert, we definitely appreciate you, you know, going into your history with gaming and really, you know, being honest and upfront with us and just telling us like it is, man, when it comes to gaming, game development, your history, you know, with gaming and growing into it, your journey, you know. Thank you for sharing that with us. We appreciate that, man.
Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, Robert is seasoned, man.
Yes, sir.
That man got a lot of pepper. He got a lot of, you know.
He got the lorries. He got the lorries. Absolutely. Hey, Robert, you down to stick around to talk about some news, some gaming news? You down to stick around?
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm super thankful that you guys gave me the chance to talk to you, because I do watch your show, and I've been in spaces with you guys, and I like how you get down. I respect I respect you as individuals, but also your show and your own passion for games and for you know, just being part of the community. So yeah, I was definitely like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna come on here and chat it up.
That really means a lot, man. Thank you.
Appreciate that, man. We gotta bless him up with some platinums,
yes,
man.
sir. Let's get the plat real quick.
We going above beyond the trophy. We blessing Robert with the platinums, man. Coming on.
Plat
the
gonna
show.
get a few platinums. Yo, that's a fact. But yo, Robert's gonna stick around with us, man. He gonna talk. You know, we gonna talk some news, right? You know, do our usual rigmarole of how we do things, guys. Listen, I saw the super chats, I saw the messages and everything, but I really wanted to give Robert his this was his time, right? And I wanted to give him a chance to speak uninterrupted and and whatnot, right? But we about to get into the regular show, guys. So shout out to y'all, man. Like, listen, I appreciate all y'all being here, man. So let's get these super chats real quick. Yo, Cyber Dragon, appreciate you, man. 5 months as a member on the channel. He says, "What's up, chat mod? Special guest Robert Morrison and the What's Up PlayStation podcast." Appreciate you, Cyber, always. And then Oolong T Gaming, appreciate you becoming a member on the channel. Appreciate you, Oolong. And then ViperReap's Corner, appreciate you. 5 months as a member on the channel. He says, "What's good, WUPS, Mr. Morrison? Hats off to you, sir." And then
so shout out to Viper.
Yeah,
that's
Viper.
Timestamp guy.
I was gonna say you stumbling over your words, sir.
Yeah, I was saying stamp times, whatever. The timestamp guy,
Yes,
man,
sir.
doing the timestamps every week, man, doing a wonderful job. We appreciate it, man. Viper. For
Yo,
all
we
that you do
definitely
and showing
appreciate
support as
Viper.
well, man.
Yo, especially last week, Viper said he hit us up like, "Yo, Persona, Bari, where's the podcast, brother? I can't do the time steps." Appreciate you, Viper, always, brother. And then King Kiso, man, 5 months as a member on the channel. Appreciate you, bro. He ain't say nothing. He just wanted to let the chat know, hey, look, I'm part of the WUPS Nation. Why ain't you a part of the WUPS Nation? Right?
King Kiso.
Yes, sir. And then appreciate ViperReap's Corner again with the big boy $50 super duper whooper chats. He says, there is nothing half-assed about this remake. Absolutely nothing. I'm glad to have this game because I played the original, but not the remaster. I'm thankful for this game as to play Last of Us 1 and Last of Us Part 2 back to back. Absolutely. There's nothing half-assed about this. I agree 100%, Viper. I appreciate you. And then I appreciate you, DC, man, for he gifted 5 WUPS Nation memberships to some folks in the chat. So appreciate you, DC, man, always. And then
the gifted sub stuff is still kind of
new.
So
yeah,
hopefully YouTube work that out, because normally it would just like
randomly,
whoever got the subs, it would just give to random people and you see those names getting popped up, but I don't know what's going on.
Yep. And then True Virgil, man, appreciate you for the super chat. He says, "How dare he say that, because I've complained a week's worth of time. I could have gotten a job and make money. Respect my time, sir."
True Virgil.
Shout out to True Virgil. And then Viper Reap's Corner, appreciate you again for the super chat. He says, "I got that plat in Siphon Filter thanks to Sony Ben's Twitter feed. LOL. They gave me the confidence to move forward and complete the task." That's what's up, man. And then
that's a Gabe. What's his name? Gabe Logan. Master.
Yeah. And then Julianne Johnson, man, appreciate you for the big boy $20 super chat. He says,
guy right there.
"Good morning, brethren. This is my woke up late on West Coast view." Man, appreciate you, bro. Julian always rocking out with us. And then DC Gaming, appreciate you for the super chat. He says, "Rob, you got to sneak in a WUPS Easter egg in your next game for the community." Elevate. Hey, yo, can you imagine, like, if like whatever game it is, if like in the store you see like a WUPS logo or something? That would be crazy. That would be crazy. And then Stranded Ninja Gaming, Stranded, appreciate you becoming a member on the WUPS channel, WUPS Nation. And then
Stranded, welcome, bro.
And then King Kiso, appreciate you for the super chat. He says, "Best PlayStation podcast on YouTube." I appreciate you, King Kiso, man. Thank you. And then Gian the Don, appreciate you for the super chat. He says, "WUPS has great content and nothing but illustrious guests. Great work, fellas, and thank you for sharing your experiences, Robert. The Last of Us Part 1 is great." Appreciate you for the kind words, Gian. And then Jay Wright, appreciate you 5 months as a member on the channel. He says, "Great interview. You guys keep doing your thing." Thank you, Jay Wright. We appreciate you, bro. And then JGamerUK in the building. Appreciate you 5 months as a member on the channel. He says, "Another fire show. Robert has been another awesome guest. Congrats, and PlayStation, the only next-gen console out here." That is a fact. Yes, sir.
You already know the vibes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But ladies and gents, we're about to get into the show. And I want to start the show off by just shouting off the members real quick, and then we're going to get into the games for the week. So for the WUPS Nation, remember, guys, if you do want to become a member on the channel, the link to that is in the description. It's not mandatory, but it's always appreciated. And you can become officially a part of the WUPS Nation. So to our members, man, How Weird Gaming, Stone, Juan Sosa Gaming, Rabbit Got the Gun, Jay Bari in the building, Games for Eternity, Kyle Ward 789, TTFP Rules, King Thrash Gaming, Brat Basement Radio Arcade, Andy, Julianne Johnson, Brian King, Stealth Guy Gaming, No Cap Podcast, DeJuan Thompson, Rob Gaming TV, Requiem of Demons, Magnificent Black, It's Me Baby 80, D2 Des, Light Gamer, DC Gaming, Ice Queen Gaming, John Donuts, Tarana Duffy, Tactical Gamer, Alfonso Carter, AC, Steady Flow, Stir Crazy, Stardust Acero, Gian Don, JGamerUK, Cyber Dragon, Unikronn, Fresh 2180, Strictly Gaming, ViperReap's Corner, Jay Wright, Blue Mustang 357, Damien, Henry Heck, Shy City Gamer, King Kiso, Bird, UpChuckGaming, The Wreck, Navigator 3221, Nariko. Yes, sir.
My bad.
The one and only Gaming with Persona, you already know.
He did it, guys.
Dreology 619, and last but not least, Mr. Go Try Hard Guy Uchiha. Oh, you guys.
We got one more too. We got one more that just joined up, but
Star Guardian 88. Appreciate you, Star Guardian, always, bro. Listen, man, let me give y'all trophies real quick, man. We starting the show off right, man. Give you your trophies. 3.
we got a super chat from King Kiso.
Yeah, King
Thank
Kiso.
You, Rob, for all, did you read that one? Thank you, Rob.
No,
for all
I'm
the
about to
work.
read it right now. I got you. King Kiso, appreciate you for the super chat. He says, thank you, Robert, for all the hard work you and the team do. Make the best games in the industry. That is a fact. That is a fact. Absolutely. All right, guys, let's get into it, man. All right, let's get into the rigmarole. Let's start off with the games released this week, because there has been a lot of great games this week. So starting off, we've got Commandos 3 HD Remaster, Desert Journey Nitro for the PS4, PS5, PS4, Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed for the PS5, PS4, Dust Divers 2 for the PS5, PS4, great game by the way, F1 Manager 2022 for PS5, PS4, Inscription for the PS5, PS4, Saudi Drift for the PlayStation 4, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga Collection for the PS5, PS4. I had to get this collection edition. It's awesome.
Lit.
Tiny Kin for the PS5, PS4. Mini Car Racing 2 for the PlayStation 4. Phantasy Star Online 2, finally, for the PS4. Red Square Escape 2. Exactly. Red Square Escape 2 for the PS5, PS4. Rick Henderson for the PS5, PS4.
Oh, yo, that came out?
Yes, sir. I need that review, Bari. What's that review?
Oh my goodness, I can't believe Rick Henderson came out, man. Wow.
I don't know what the hell that is.
I don't know what it is.
Swan, Chernobyl Unexplored for the PlayStation 4. Chenso Club for the PlayStation 4. The Mysteries of Ranko Togawa, Murder on the Marine Express for the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R for the PS5. Yo, I played the demo for this.
It looks so good, man.
It does, but I played the demo. I'm just like, nah, I can't do that online, bro. I can't, bro. I need the rollback.
That
I can't. It was rough.
Demo was rough.
Yeah, it was rough. Lego Brawls for the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4.
What?
Made in a Lego Brawl. It's my New York Brawls.
I thought you said bras, so I had to. I went to the page. I had to look. I was like, oh,
Brawls. For the PlayStation 5 and 4, then we got Made in Abyss, Binary Star Falling into Darkness for the PlayStation 4.
Long
and
name.
last but not least, certainly not least, The Last of Us Part 1 Remake. I gotta give a round of applause. I gotta get a round of applause. I got to give a round of applause. Last of Us Part 1 Remake. You feel me? And those are the games that have released this week. Now we are officially in the spotlight portion of the show. And for those that are new here, the spotlight is where me and Bari and Robert, We're going to give you guys a game if we decide to break the rules that we think y'all should check out, right? It could be a brand new game. It could be an old game. It could be a game from your childhood. It could be a game that hasn't released yet. The purpose of the spotlight is just so that we can spotlight a game that you, the community, should check out. So since Robert is our guest this week, we are going to start with Robert, man. So Robert, what is your spotlight game for this week? And are you going to break the rules?
I think Robert wants to spotlight coffee. I think he's taking a little coffee break right now, Persona.
He might be.
You getting juiced up.
Definitely. All right, so then Bari, give us your we'll start with you. Give us your spotlight games. Game for the week.
Really and truly, my spotlight game is going to be very, very predictable because it is The Last of Us Part 1 remake. And you see how I made that mistake saying it's The Last of Us Part 2 because this game looks phenomenal, bro.
Yes, sir.
Like, it is a hard thing to do to impress someone that, played this game to its entirety, back and forth, looked at every nook and cranny, nitpicking as far as let me see what they upgraded here in the game. And I'm just like, yo, wow. They really redid some stuff. You know what I mean? They really redid a lot of the game. The character models, animations just look much smoother. The gunplay feels much better, especially with the DualSense. The DualSense controller, Persona, yo, I know we say this a lot, man, but that controller is really like a game changer, man.
Yo, facts.
It's really a game changer, and it's how it can immerse yourself within these games. Yo, I've turned on the vibrate to speak option, and at first I was like, oh damn, this is a little intense. I dropped it down to 5, and there's certain points of the game where you'll be on a surface or you're doing certain things and it will rumble, but they're also talking. So you getting a distinctive feedback from the voices of them talking and the specific environment that you're on or whatever is going on in the game. And I'm feeling that in the controller at the same time. Like I'm feeling the feedback from the vibrations and what's going on in game. And I'm just like, yo, that's crazy impressive, man. That is crazy impressive what's going on with this game. Like I'm like, yo, there's no way they're gonna give me 2 feedbacks at the same time, but it was, bruh, and I was impressed by that. 3D audio is another thing that is really impressing me. 3D audio is something that we experience if you play VR. Very, very impressive technology. But now having that in all the first party games and whatnot, and I'm playing that with the H9s and having the whole noise canceling stuff turned on, you just really get immersed in the game. Like I'm hearing every breath these characters are taking as they run, and it's just like, yo, man, like this is it's so small to a lot of people, or the whole too cool for school gamers gonna be like, oh my god, you're making such a big deal out of that. But to me, it is a big deal because I like to immerse myself in video games. That's why I love sound. I love music. I love certain, dialogue and banter that goes on in gaming. Like I personally love that stuff. And now The Last of Us pretty much does a lot of the things that I love in gaming on a larger scale. And with the 3D audio and all that stuff there, I'm just like, yo, bro, I'm so trapped in the world, yo. Like it feels like a different time I'm playing The Last of Us Part 1. Even though I know the game back and forth, it's further immersing myself within the game, and I love that, man. Real talk, I really love that. Like I really want to get back and play it. But yeah, I got a spotlight that, man. For those people that are probably hesitant to be like, yo, this is $70, or I played this game, and I already platinum this game. Yo, I'm telling you guys, yo, this game right here, the PS5 version is definitely the best version to play. Obviously, common sense, right? But it really captivates you again within the game, within the story and the game, man. Like bow and arrow feels different. Shotguns, you feeling that feedback of that. Go play the remaster on that PlayStation 4, and then boot up that PS5 version and shoot the shotgun at the same time, or shoot it back and forth. However you want to do it. It's a big difference, man. It's a big difference in the game, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving it, yo.
I agree with you. Sorry about that. I had to re-up on my coffee.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, the DualSense controller is an amazing piece of technology, and you know, I only picked up my PS5 in like the last month, and I didn't want to break up with my PS4. You know, we have a relationship. I wanted to keep that love going, but yeah, man, getting your hands, at least getting my hands on the DualSense controller, feeling those adaptive triggers, it's really fascinating to me how they made this happen. It adds such an element to the experience playing the games. It's really amazing. It just feels so good in your hands.
Yeah, it's night and day difference, like 100%.
It's night and day, bro. Like I'm just like, man. Like I played this game already. I played this game multiple times. I put hundreds of hours in this game. I played a single player many times, and I'm just like, yo, I gotta do it again, man.
It's funny too, because I just recently got the platinum for the original like a month and a half ago, and and I was saying, it's like, yo, playing The Last of Us Part 2. I mean, excuse me, there I go. The Last of Us Part 1 remake. It's a night and day difference, but I feel like I'm playing the game for the first time all over again, playing this remake. It really is that impressive to me. But go ahead, Bari, my fault. I ain't gonna cut you off.
100%.
You know, the directive from leadership was this on part 1. The direction and the directive and the goal was given to us. Okay, we're going to take this game to the level of part 2 and then take it beyond as best as we could. So that was the goal, and it's good to see that people are enjoying that as well.
Yep.
Yeah, like Persona said it earlier. I don't know if we was live yet when you say this, or probably the off talk is like, yo, he would like to see a Last of Us Part 2 being, a remake or remaster or whatnot. And it's just like, yo, yeah, man, because a lot of things they did here, that's with the PS5 update, and that's the PS5, DualSense and all that stuff. It just adds so much immersion to that. You know what I mean? It feels really good to play. It looks really beautiful to play, and seeing some of the additional stuff in the game. Like some of these cut scenes, they even punch even harder because of the facial animations and the spit coming out the mouth, and you just see that it looks more realistic and it looks more real. Stuff. Amazing job, man. Can't say it enough.
No bullshit. I really want to. Yo, this is gonna sound so messed up, it just came to my mind. I want to see that Joel Abbey scene in PS5. Yo, really, I really want to see that on PS5 because
you gonna feel crazy. That scene.
Yo, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, yo, on PS4 and PS4 Pro, it's crazy. But that, like, because even when you, like I said, when you're seeing scenes on the PlayStation 5 with this Last of Us Part 1 remake, I'm telling you, man, the power of the PlayStation 5 and everything, it really transforms the scenes in the game. Like, what they did is truly crazy. I feel like on PlayStation 5 with The Last of Us Part 2.
Yo, you know what's crazy?
Oh
like,
my God.
How Naughty Dog and whatnot, they was posting like, little clips, and they show like tests, and she does that little before she, that big scene that she does. Seeing those things again, like in person on an OLED and the PlayStation 5, it's like, bro, I've been pressing the share button like crazy. Like I'm recording these things just so I can rewatch it. You know what I mean? Like I got past the scene, let me rewatch it, how it looks. Like, damn, this junk look really good, man. I really see the improvements and the differences that they have here with the character models and all that. It's like, Jesus.
Yep. Yep. What's is that your only spotlight this week, or?
No, you know the vibes, man. It's September,
so
we gotta do this.
Yes, sir.
We gotta break the rules, man, because September is a crazy month, and I'm very, very happy because it is pretty much like JRPG month.
Yes, sir.
It is pretty much JRPG month, RPG month, however you want to name it. But we highlighted. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna name them off the bat. Like that's no real description, because we've been spotlighting these games for like how many weeks now? We've been talking about them how many weeks, but I'm just gonna go in Persona, man. Can I just list them?
Yes,
how
sir.
crazy
Yes,
of a
sir.
month this is gonna be.
I'm ready to. Go ahead, list them, man. Let the people know.
Yo, I don't think people are ready for September.
They not.
You know, with TGS coming up and all that stuff. I don't think people are ready, Persona. I don't think they're ready, man.
They're not ready.
I don't think they're ready.
They're not ready.
So the Dire Field Chronicles.
Fire.
If you haven't played a demo yet, go ahead and play the demo. And I think all your stuff transfers to the retail game. So
yeah, it does.
You know, why not play that demo?
Mm-hmm.
Valkyrie Elysium.
Fire! Can't wait.
Second most anticipated game for this year, coming out this month. We're here. We're in the month of Valkyrie Elysium coming out, and I can't wait. I can't wait for people to play that and let's honestly be like, yo, Valkyrie is a great franchise. I'm liking the game. And whenever PlayStation adds the Linux to it, Valkyrie profile Linux, you guys can play that as well, man. I was gonna say Star Ocean, but Star Ocean is next week.
No, Star Ocean next month. You mean October?
I mean next month. Mm-hmm. But what's coming here is isn't Steel Rising this week? I mean,
Steel Rising comes out next Tuesday. Actually, yes, no, I'm lying because we pre-ordered the deluxe edition. Steel Rising unlocks for us on Sunday. Tomorrow it unlocks. Early. Yeah, that's a great game. You took my spotlight too, by the way. Go ahead.
No, because like I'm hyped for Steel Rising. I didn't play the beta, but this was one of those fun. Those Souls games that I pre-ordered because I was like, yo, this looks good. I like the what they're going on like lore wise and the atmosphere and just the character itself, like these little robots, whatever they call them. It looks pretty cool, man. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like I really want to highlight those specific games right there because I feel like we're gonna have a great month where we just got we got to play some games and keep up, man. Because we coming from Last of Us Part 1, Dust Divers 2, Soul Hackers 2, Gundam SD Gundam Battle Lines. There's just so much, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection. Like all those things I can just highlight, but I'm breaking the rules already. I'm gonna shut up, Persona.
Nah, man, Bari definitely broke the rules. But yo,
I break the rules like you though, because every single one of these games are out of listed. You would have had a 10-minute breakdown of like how these games, and you'd have probably spoiled some of them too. Just letting you know.
Hey, on shit. But yo, Robert, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, sir. All right, so give us your spotlight game for this week, and are you gonna break the rules?
Oof. I'm still on that Returnal right now. That's got me captured, and I don't know if I'm breaking the rules by even going there, but that's what I'm currently still playing.
So Returnal, that's your spotlight for this. I mean, Returnal's an amazing game. That's a really great game. Like that, I love that game so much. Like, shout out to Ilari and the team over there at Housemark. They're a great team.
Amazing game, man.
Yeah,
amazing game, yo.
Yeah, I agree.
It's awesome.
That's what's up.
That's one of those games that it would never die. Like you can always just go back, try to do a new, challenge for yourself or whatnot. Like. It's always a game that's what you call replay.
Well,
especially now they have the co-op.
I was gonna say not just the co-op.
Getting into it, co-op and all that.
Not just the co-op, but the Tower of Cephas. Like because you can it's like a public leaderboard. So like you can keep going back in there doing runs and trying to get higher scores and you can play with your friends and go through and try to get the best scores and stuff. It really is a great addictive game, man. Shout out to what's your favorite weapon, Robert? Like what weapon have you found yourself like really enjoying the most?
I'm still playing through the first biome, so I'm not even good at this game. I suck at this game, but I keep coming back to it because it's super fun. So I don't even know the names of the weapons at this point.
Trust me, that's how we all started. Yep. We was all second guessing ourselves for Return. Like, damn, do I suck at video games?
Yeah.
But then when that thing clicked, it's just like, ooh.
Yo, Returnal last year, Returnal had the gaming community in a chokehold, boy.
The community, the industry, everybody was talking about hard games.
My god, they had the community in a chokehold. I'm gonna say this: the Electro Pylon driver Robert.
Best game,
Just
Okay.
keep that in mind. When you
right.
come across the Electro-Pylon, trust what I tell you, it's either going to have the polyweb or even the regular single shot version. Trust when I tell you, it's going to be a breeze getting through the game once you get that weapon. I promise.
I like the single shot better than the polyweb, but yeah, best gun in the game, hands down. No other competition. That's like S tier. Everything else is like S tier, A tier.
And then Hollow Seeker with what's that, portal beam with the portal beam.
The Hollow Seeker I'll say is the second best.
Yes,
in my
sir.
opinion.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Alright,
these
cool.
weapons are nice. Just the development. I mean, every weapon feels really good.
Don't sleep on the pistol either. Like the pistol, when you level that thing up and get like the perks and like the rocket launcher, ricochet, and all that. Oh my goodness! Especially the burst, the pistol goes.
The pistol I think is great with the Doombringer alt fire. That Doombringer is probably one of the best. I mean, Doombringer is the best alt fire in the game, bro.
Yo, that's like a Dragon Ball move right there. Like,
that spirit ball. That's your option, spirit ball, bro. Real talk. But yo, man, that's what's up, man. That's a good spotlight. So Robert didn't break the rules this week. He only named one game, so he didn't break the rules. For me, man, I'm breaking the rules this week. For y'all already know, for those that watch the show, my first spotlight is definitely going to be God of War Ragnarok. We definitely going to be talking about that later in the show because they Game Informer, shout out to Game Informer, but Game Informer, they showed a little snippet of gameplay. But listen, we gonna talk, man. It's a lot, all right. Like, respect my time, okay? But yeah, we definitely gonna God of War Ragnarok comes out November 9th. I can't wait. My second spotlight is actually going to be Dust Divers 2, right? This game, so Dust Divers 1, I played a little bit of it like 2 or 3 weeks ago. That was my first time playing the game, but what really drove me to Dust Divers 2 was how beautiful it looked, how fun the combat looked. I had never heard of Dust Divers until I saw the trailer for Dust Divers 2. So I said, let me go to Dust Divers 1, play a little bit of it. Playing Dust Divers 1 and playing Dust Divers 2, night and day. It's night and day. They improved so much on the combat, on the look of the game. It's super high quality. The music, I love the music in this game. It's really a fun game. I'm really enjoying my time with it. So Dust Divers 2 is definitely a great game. And then the other game I'm gonna say is Soul Hackers 2. So I've only played, disclaimer, I've only played about 2-3 hours of this game so far, right? But one of the things that I love about this game, and I think Atlas does a good job with this in general, is the music and just the aesthetic of this game is just very, very, it's very good, right? It's a beautiful game, especially if you're playing on PlayStation 5, but the music and that kind of Persona-esque style vibe, but it kind of still maintains its own identity, if that makes sense. This is what Soul Hackers 2 is to me personally. And I'm really digging it so far. I'm gonna put more time into it, but listen, it's too many games, right? And then Last of Us, Bari already talked about it. So Last of Us Part 1 remake is a given. Like, listen, even if you've played Last of Us already, I think it's worth another playthrough just for this experience alone, because it really is a night and day difference. Don't look at compressed ass videos on Twitter. I'm telling you, play the goddamn game. It really is that amazing. That's no cap. And then the last one is Steel Rising. I've been playing the demo for this the past couple days, past week or so. And shout out to the Steel Rising devs, because they actually quote tweeted my mini boss fight that I posted up on Twitter, which was really dope, man. I really like Steel Rising, man. It's a Souls-like game, and you're this animatronic robot servant that has to go out and fight a bunch of enemies because your countess or your master told you to, because they want to leave the palace, and they're not allowed to leave the palace because it's under guard. So that's the part of the story where they drop you in. It's a pretty cool game. I like it. It looks beautiful. So yeah, those are my spotlight games for the week. But yo, let's get into some news, man. Let's get into some news. So the first thing I definitely want to talk to y'all about is the September's PlayStation Plus games got officially announced, right? We got some pretty good games. So the September PlayStation Plus games is going to be Need for Speed Heat, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, and TLOU, a photo adventure, right? And then the PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium games catalog, Those games are going to be Deathloop, Assassin's Creed Origins, Watch Dogs 2, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Spiritfarer Farewell Edition, Chicory, Monster Energy Supercross, Alex Kidd in Miracle World, Rabbids Invasion, Rayman Legends, and Scott Pilgrim. So that's Scott Pilgrim versus the World. And then for the premium classic games, we're getting Siphon Filter 2, Sly Cooper Collection, Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, Bentley's Hack Pack, Story Story 3, and Kingdom of Paradise. Robert, starting with you, how you feeling about this month's PlayStation Plus lineup? Is it an A? Is it a B? What score would you give it?
I have a subscription to the Ultimate, I think it's called, or
Premium,
the high tier one.
Okay.
I think I like it a lot. I mean, there's so many games in there that my backlog is just like a year or two out. But in regards to those games, I mean, PlayStation doesn't really miss too much. They're probably not things that I'm personally gonna dip into at this point, but I think there's some good things there for everyone. That was a very generic answer. I know. I realize that.
No, it was great. It was good. Bari, well, okay. So then, what kind of score would you give September's lineup? You give it an A, I'm assuming.
We'll give it a B plus.
B plus. Okay.
Yeah,
that's good. Bari, what's your thoughts on September's lineup, man? Is it better than last month, man? Like, how you feeling?
Persona, how dare you ask me such a question? Huh? How you have the audacity to ask me a question like that, sir?
I know.
Is it better than last month? Of course it is. This is an A plus 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 with an extra lisp plus. Man, because Grand Blue Fantasy Versus is on there.
Yo, that's a fight. I already knew. Once I saw Grand Blue Fantasy on that, like, yeah, Bari hype.
Hey, the reason why I'm hyped for this, one, is going to bring a new audience of people to the game. They're going to realize that, the net code ain't the greatest, but it's going to get people into Grand Blue. Because I personally love the Grand Blue Fantasy franchise. I played a mobile RPG game. I need to get caught up on that, though. I haven't played it in a while. I played the hell out of the fighting game, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, which they're offering. And I'm super hyped for Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. But the cool thing about this fighting game here is that you get a great single player story. Trust me and believe it. I know when it comes to fighting games, a lot of people are like, "Oh, single player story is whack." But the single player story in this game is pretty cool because it's done like in an RPG way, and the you can tackle it with a friend. So there's co-op in it as well, and there's also like super like high level missions that you can do with friends where you got to fight these beasts or whatnot. I forgot what they call them, but it's really good because it's a full-fledged like RPG mode. You gotta equip this, you gotta equip your skills, you gotta equip your weapons, your armory, and all that stuff into your character so you can take on whatever mission or whatnot in the game. But overall, I think it's a great fighting game as well. The system mechanics are pretty sound. They added new system mechanics as well in the game. A little bit overpowered, but it's still good as far as a defensive option within the game. And it's a game that I felt like has the best tutorial mode, like one of the best tutorial modes in a fighting game, because it actually teaches you fighting game like lingo. If it teaches you the things that we talk about in fighting games, like frame traps and all that stuff, like it teaches you that stuff, and you have like a whole dictionary that teaches you about Grand Blue Fantasy, the characters, fighting game lingo. It breaks all of that down, and I love that stuff. And it also teaches you how to defend against each character. So if you have a character that you struggle against, I'm pretty sure that tutorial mode has something there where it's going to teach you like, hey, this is how you handle this move here. You know what I mean? And it's such a great game, really and truly. I just wish that a lot of people, paid it a lot of attention. It came out at a really, really bad time because it came out right at the peak of COVID. so the game didn't really get like a lot of spotlight on it. But the fact that PlayStation is offering it on Plus is a huge deal for me, because one, that's telling me that once again more people is going to come in to play it, or two, there might be an announcement there, you know, coming really soon for it, which that's more hopeful than anything. But nah, man, I'm really excited about this month. I think this month is offering a lot of great games, not only with just the PlayStation Plus regular, but the game catalog as well. You know, having Deathloop there, Xenoverse 2, Assassin's Creed Origins, Watch Dogs 2, Chicory. Yeah, I think it's a really good month. The classics, I wish they would step it up though with the classics, to be honest with you, because we're in what, month 3 or 4 now?
Yeah, 3.
When it comes to the classics.
3.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? I would love to see more PS1, you know, titles where you're just offering Siphon Filter 2. That's it for the PlayStation 1 title. I think that's a little underwhelming in my opinion. But overall, I'm pretty satisfied because Grand Blue Fantasy Verse is in there. And I love that game to death.
But wait a minute, Bari. Can you go prone in the game?
Prone in which game? In Grand Blue?
Can you dodge and go prone? These are the things we need to know.
Hey, listen. we have a crouch. We have a dodge too. You know what I mean? Yo, Robert is funny. About that, Robert, I was on that train. I wanted to dodge and I wanted to prone, but even though now playing it, I'm just like, hey, I like what they're doing here. I get it. I understand it. I wish they would have, you know, did that, like added that to the game with Last of Us. But I'm still enjoying what I'm playing here.
If you're coming from part 2, which is phenomenal, then, you know, to be honest with you, there was a number of times when I was trying to hit a dodge button when I was playing, because you're used to that, right? Coming from part 2, you're used to that dodge mechanic. So yeah, there's a few times in like the first few hours of the game when I was like, damn, I kind of wanted to dodge right there. But, you know, you understand that it's a different game. The point wasn't to make it exactly like part 2, and I think that's something that was definitely a thoughtful thing, and I think they also want to kind of set part 2 aside in its own ways as well, right? Where it's like, okay, yeah, this is kind of this is different. The goal was never make it exactly like part 2. The goal was to make it best version of itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what happens on if PC modders want to play with that.
Oh man.
But they definitely gonna mod that up.
Definitely gonna mod that. That's a fact. I think this month for PlayStation Plus is solid. You know, I think it's a big get, especially with Deathloop and Grand Blue. I agree with Bari though, that classics lineup. You know, where the PS2 games at? Where's Chaos Legion? You feel me? Where's Dragon Quest 8? Where's Suikoden? Where is Legend of Dragoon? You get what I'm saying?
They got to be better with the classics, because if the classics was getting better offerings, a lot of people would subscribe more to that higher tier for sure.
Yeah, like, you know, with all due respect, I'm not trying to play, like, no one's looking for Toy Story 3. You feel me? Like, with all due respect. But I think Siphon Filter 2 being there is dope, and I believe Ben did confirm that Siphon Filter 2 will also have the trophies in the platinum, so that'll be dope. But yeah, that's my thing. But, you know, shout out to PlayStation, shout out to the month. I think it's a solid month. If I had to give it a score, I give it an A-. I think it's great, right? But yo, let's get into some acquisition news. Yes, sir, Bari. We pissed a lot of people off this week, I think, Bari, because you know,
they wasn't listening.
I don't think people were definitely like, well, you know, Bari Persona, I don't think you guys understand. We got the games, and it's like, brother. What's talking about?
You know, PlayStation wants to, you know, get into the mobile business.
Yeah, we know.
But yo, man, so PlayStation, they announced this week that they are going to be acquiring Savage Game Studios. Now, before you start jumping for joy, Savage Game Studios is a mobile development studio, and they will be dedicated to creating mobile AAA level games. Now, live service games. Now, one of the highlights, I do want to talk about the Savage acquisition, absolutely. But one of the things I also want to point out is what Herman Hulst said as well within this blog post, where he says, as we assured you before, with our plans to bring select titles to PC, our efforts beyond console in no way diminish our commitment to the PlayStation community, nor our passion to keep making amazing single-player narrative-driven experiences. It's been a tremendous year for games on PlayStation 5 and 4, with huge releases including Horizon Forbidden West, Gran Turismo 7, MLB The Show 2022, and on November 9th, the highly anticipated God of War Ragnarok. PlayStation VR 2 is also on the horizon and promises a huge leap forward in presence and immersion, bolstered by best-in-class software like Horizon Call to the Mountain. We're proud of our releases on PC as well, with Marvel Spider-Man Remastered and upcoming Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection, giving gamers without PlayStation hardware a taste of our amazing library of first-party titles. So, I think him adding that in there was that reassurance. And this is not the first time that PlayStation has done like this reassurance, like, rest assured, guys, trust us, PlayStation is still the priority. But every time we get these types of acquisitions that don't necessarily benefit PlayStation or its gamers, we always get these types of paragraphs. But Robert, starting with you, man, seeing this acquisition, do you care? I mean, do you even care about like acquisitions and all that stuff, Robert? Like, what are your thoughts on all this?
I do care about it. I don't put much energy into it personally, but obviously I can't really talk about internal business decisions about for Sony and PlayStation because I know information that we have information as employees that others don't, so I have to be careful about what I say.
Okay.
But I think it's a good thing. In the end, I trust PlayStation's decisions. They are going to do what is best for the future of the company, of course. But what we have to think about, I think, is that any way that the studio, the company can bring in additional revenue is revenue that can go to continue to create these amazing third-party titles that most of us are going to purchase. So it's a good move. It's a smart move. The studio or the company does need to continue to innovate and expand into areas that can bring additional revenue, bring more people into the PlayStation ecosystem. That's what a lot of this is about. And a lot of these PC games going to PC, I think that's what a lot of that is about as well, is just bringing people to become part of the PlayStation ecosystem, the PlayStation become familiar and start to love these iconic characters that are in the games. I don't think, going to PC so much, it's not a huge revenue generating venture. I don't know the numbers, but this is just my assumption as a gamer that, it's like the drug dealer wants to give you a little taste and then they got you. And that's what smart business does is they look for other ways and other opportunities. Every single company does this to grow their business. But at the end of the day, this is revenue that will go back into creating more amazing games that most of us do want. Yeah.
People in the chat are saying third party. I believe he meant first party. You meant first party when you were speaking on PlayStation's games, right? Just to clear that up.
Right.
Because you know how people
games
get.
is what I meant.
Yeah.
The first party AAA games.
Yeah, you know how people get third party. Oh, PlayStation's going third party. I told you guys. I knew it. Listen to this podcast. Listen to this clip.
It's my opinion.
They clip that.
Bari, what's your thoughts on all this, man? You were very vocal earlier in the week. I lay it all on the table, brother.
Like I said before, like I don't have an issue with the Savage Games acquisition. I understand that PlayStation wants to grow in the mobile market. It's something that they pursued, or it's something they are in, currently. But they just want a wider, they want to, I guess, go more balls to the wall with it when it comes to the mobile side of things, producing their own games and whatnot. Because before they would have like these offset games of like Knack and Uncharted, or on the Sony side they have like the Fate series mobile game that's pretty big over there. But now they just want to I guess create like what they're saying they're creating is a live service AAA game, and they want that thing to hit hard. They want people to play it as something as big as like Call of Duty mobile or something. I don't know if it's gonna be that big, but if it's close, that's good for them. So yeah, I don't have an issue with the whole acquisition. Because I already knew this is something that they wanted to do for the longest, and it's something that they were doing for the longest. The middle of the blog, Herman Hulse, he pretty much addressed what's up PlayStation podcast. Can we be honest, Persona?
Absolutely.
Can we be
absolutely?
Can we be honest for a second?
100%.
Here? He pretty much addressed because we're the podcast that we understand the business side of things, but we're not just going to be like, okay, we're not gonna not just speak our opinions on how we feel about a thing. The whole PC thing, I definitely warmed up to the PC thing, especially after PlayStation is doing something that I kind of wanted to do when it comes to the whole PC thing. It's like, take care of the console first. A lot of the games that they're coming to PC now, they're having these PlayStation 5 versions of the game come out before the PC version. And I respect that much, much more than what you did with like Horizon or with God of War, where you're just like, yo, there's no PS5 update, there's no PS5 version. It's just like, hey, we're going to PC. Nah, people bought into your console. People spent the $500 to $400. They expect these kind of things as well when it comes to the console, like how you have Horizon for Zero Dawn and God of War 2018 and not have a PS5 version of it, but you're doing a PC version. I felt like that's a slap in the face.
Yep.
But so far they've been taking care, like Uncharted Lost Legacy PS5 edition, Spider-Man Remastered PS5 edition, Miles Morales PS5, The Last of Us PS5. I respect that much more than just not taking care of the PS fans. But I want to say this too as well. PlayStation has been very quiet when it comes to the future of what PlayStation is, and we was definitely questioning the whole, is PlayStation going to lose their essence as far as creating single player narrative driven games? That is what we're known for.
Never.
That is what they do, because all we knew pretty much, Robert, was we're creating 12 live service games, and we're investing more money into these live service games more than the single player narrative stuff. So it was definitely questions that we here was definitely asking, like, yo, what is going on with PlayStation? We don't know what's going on. We don't know anything as far as 2023 and beyond. What is going on? And it's cool that Herman Hulse came out and he addressed this. I'm not against him addressing it, because you can tell that he's listening, or he got some type of inkling of what the community or PlayStation fans are saying. Even having this paragraph in there. And it definitely was something that quenched a lot of the worries when it comes to PlayStation. But I still need that PlayStation showcase.
That's what I'm saying.
I wish that it would be like, hey, showcase is coming soon. Don't worry, we're gonna talk about the future of PlayStation and whatnot. But I respect that he addressed the concerns of the PlayStation fans. Yeah. But yeah, overall, I'm not really. I don't see any personal gain here with the whole mobile acquisition. I don't really play mobile games as much as I used to back in the day. I have them still on my my iPhone or whatnot, but I don't really play them like that.
Well, my
say
whole
so.
oh god, finish it.
No, go ahead.
My whole thing is like, you know, because I agree, like, right, as a PlayStation, as a long time PlayStation consumer, fan, whatever you want to call it, you know, when things were initially going to PC, because I agree with you, Bari, like I'm kind of sort of just warming up to it, right? I still don't agree 100%. And when I see that also being developed for PC shit under the under the announcement, you know, you know,
don't do that, PlayStation.
It's
Don't
disgusting.
do that.
It's disgusting.
You know what I mean?
I still turn my face up. But I think as a longtime PlayStation fan, my whole thing is, you know, what made PlayStation great is not what I want PlayStation to forget, right? And as someone that is still buying into the ecosystem and buying into these consoles, you know, I still, as a consumer, I want to still feel special. I still want to feel like me buying this product was the right choice, because you can't, like, these games are can't miss or you know, can't be found anywhere else. You get what I'm saying? That's my whole thing. And I think for a lot of consumers, they would feel the same way. I'm not talking about Twitter, because, you know, I've had this conversation on my personal channel before, where what people think and say on Twitter is exclusive to Twitter, because the real world doesn't move or think that way. And the facts, data, and statistics prove that, right? It's not just me talking out my ass. The facts and data prove that. So, you know, as a consumer, and I'm pretty sure many consumers want to, you know, that's why people are buying all these PlayStations and clamoring to get this and clamoring to get that. That's why the Ellie edition, the Firefly edition is sold out and being scalped to hell, because, you know, the PlayStation has that essence and ambiance that has made them special through generations. I don't want that to get lost in the sauce with all these other endeavors. I understand the business decisions. I understand the business aspect. I'm not saying, oh, PlayStation, I don't want you to make more money. No, don't do this. I'm not like, no, like, I'm not saying that at all. But I do not want the essence of PlayStation to get lost in all these other business endeavors. That's my whole thing. That really is where I'm coming from as a gamer, not as some gaming politician, all this other bullshit, semantics that people push on Twitter. I'm coming out as someone that's a gamer first and a PlayStation fan second. I do not want that to get lost. That's it. That's it. That's all it is to it. So, but we'll see. Shout out to PlayStation. Let me get these super chats real quick. Yo, Just a Guy, appreciate you for the super chat. He says, I'm
Just a guy going in, yo.
I'm boycotting this game because it has no factions. And then appreciate you for the second super chat. He says, they got the balls to announce that Last of Us going to PC, yet the PS5 version costs $10 extra, and I'm missing features. Unacceptable. Appreciate Just a Guy again for the last super chat. He says, and The Last of Us 2 launched without factions. They learned nothing. This is a repeat offense, and I will not be disrespected like these.
Just a guy he just donated what he could spend with the Last of Us Part remake.
Exactly. Oh, that's man, my guy, though. Shout out to Just a Guy, man. I appreciate you, brother. But yo, let's move on, man. Let's move on. All right, man. Yo, listen, PlayStation is out here making moves, and they making moves with the enemy, not the enemy, but an unlikely partner. I'm talking about Tencent. So collectively, Tencent and Sony now have 30% ownership of From Software. So PlayStation upped their percentage to 14.09%. This news comes from Kodokawa Corporation when the shareholders released their holdings statement. But currently, Kodokawa still owns 69.66%. But PlayStation upping that percentage. I'm going to start with you, Robert. And I'm asking you as a gamer, as someone that is not privy to no information. But if you can't answer, I understand. Them upping that percentage like that, what do you think that means? Do you think that, you know, they're upping the percentage because they see something on the horizon that they know the community is about to like go crazy? And I'm not talking about some Elden Ring DLC type stuff. I'm talking like a Bloodborne remake and a Bloodborne 2, you know, type of ordeal. Like, why do you think they upped that?
I think it's very interesting, actually. And I honestly don't know what their motivation is, aside from recognizing this is a great company that is that has a very strong future, and seeing Elden Ring, the reception from the gaming community and consumers, that Elden Ring brought to the table really is kind of opening up what I think they're seeing as a lot of future possibilities. Now, you know that PlayStation has begun to delve into more of an expansion of various types of media, right? We all see it, TV shows, movies, etc., the like. So perhaps they want to bring some of these FromSoft titles deeper into those kind of areas. That's a possibility. Maybe there's going to be an Elden Ring movie. Who knows? I don't have any inside information, but I think they're smart enough to recognize this is a great company. This would be in a solid investment, and why not? Why not have some ownership in that regard? That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Bari, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a great move from them to invest into firm software. We see PlayStation or Sony have been doing this a lot by investing certain amounts into these companies. One is Epic as well, and there's other ones that have been doing it. But firm software has delivered 2 amazing exclusive games for PlayStation before, and it's was greatly received by fans and the industry and all that with Demon Souls and Bloodborne. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they want to invest into them. So it's like, yeah, we want to continue doing business with you. We want to continue where we have those those one-off exclusive games that you develop for a console. That's investing more money and probably will further cement stuff like that. But yeah, Robert made a good point as well. You see PlayStation doing a lot more as far as movies and TV shows. You never know, it probably can do something with Bloodborne TV show. So I don't know, you never know.
A Bloodborne show would be interesting. Like if they were to do something like that, I think that would be like pretty interesting. It would definitely be gruesome. It would have to be.
You want a TV show or you want a movie?
I would want a show. I feel like a show you can flesh out more than a movie. Like if it was a Bloodborne movie, I don't know, like thinking about that, I'm thinking back to that Monster Hunter movie that released with old girl.
Oh man, if I compare it, y'all bought that movie too, man. I bought that.
Or the Resident Evil show. It's just like, listen,
it was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, I agree with both of you. I think a lot of this is just PlayStation seeing a great company and wanting to invest more to get a better return on investment, especially seeing the successes of Elden Ring. If I was an investor, I would put more money into that as well, because, whatever they put out next is going to be, you would hope would be even more successful, because now Elden Ring has pushed the Souls genre into a non-niche market. Now it's mainstream. Like, Souls games are now mainstream thanks to Elden Ring. So looking at that formula of what they built with Elden Ring, if they can build upon that and build something else that's, runs a little better, looks great, and all that, you're gonna pull in so many people. But I also think
you missing the biggest component.
What's that?
Make it easier.
Oh yeah, definitely make it easier. But I also think having this larger piece of the pie, PlayStation now, their word holds more weight in the boardroom. So I'm hoping that Jim Ryan, Herman Hulse, or whoever sitting down in the boardroom is saying, yeah, hello gents, so let's talk about Bloodborne 2. You understand? Like, let's get that Bloodborne remake or something going. You feel me? Like, at least give me a 60 frames a second patch or something. You get what I'm saying? So I'm hoping, I'm hoping that they do that, right? So shout out to them. Shout out to PlayStation. Let's move it along, man. Let's move it along. I was gonna talk about Phantasy Star Online too, but we don't need to talk about that. We'll move past that.
So it's a great online RPG. If you haven't played Phantasy Star before, definitely go and get it. It's free to download. I think it's the new version as well.
Yeah, it is the newer version, and it also has a high frame rate mode, so it runs pretty smooth on a PlayStation 5. So definitely check that out.
I have it downloaded. I haven't booted it up yet, but yeah, we was playing this back in the day on PS4 in Japanese accounts.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But now we have it in English, so that's really good.
Yes, sir. Real quick, Assassin's Creed. Shout out to my
Valhalla. Can I get a dog?
Let me get my Assassin's Creed folks down here. Listen, I tried to get through Valhalla, man. It's too long. Pause. I gotta go back to it. But Assassin's Creed Mirage is the next Assassin's Creed game, and we're gonna be getting more information about it on September 10th at Ubisoft Forward, which goes live at 9 p.m. CST, which is 12 p.m. PMT. I don't know what time that is.
This month is our E3 month, yo.
Yo,
There's
really,
so
truly.
much gaming events and news is going to be dropping this month. It's ridiculous. The Marvel joint, Ubisoft Forward, possibly PlayStation
the Disney joint. Yeah. Oh yeah, Disney stuff is next week as well. Yo, it's a lot. Man, I'm gonna be busy.
COD reveal.
Oh my. Yo, I'm gonna be. Yo, we gonna be busy. Hey, yo, Bari, this is a good one. We gonna be busy. Yo,
it's crazy, bro.
So Assassin's Creed Mirage. I'm thinking this is taking place in Saudi Arabia. What do you think, Robert?
So. It looked like it.
Or India, Saudi Arabia, or something like that. What do you think, Robert? Are you Assassin's Creed fan?
I honestly haven't looked too much into it.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't want to just like run my mouth.
Are you Assassin's Creed fan?
What's that?
Are you Assassin's Creed fan?
I'm not a fan, but the only reason is, and I'm not saying that in regards to like I don't like it, because I've been waiting to jump into the series, but I haven't decided yet or figured out where would be the best place to jump in, because I want to jump in. I want to start playing some of these Assassin's Creed games. I haven't played any of them yet. I'm not sure. Maybe Black Flag.
No. I'm gonna be honest.
Where's the place to jump in?
So the best place to jump into Assassin's Creed is Assassin's Creed 2.
Okay.
Assassin's Creed 2, then Assassin's Creed Brother. They got it on. I think it's on Plus. Yeah, Assassin's Creed 2, and then Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and then Assassin's Creed Revelations. I think those 3 games. Those are with Ezio Auditore and Desmond Miles.
Altair.
Yeah, Altair was the first one.
Nice.
So yeah, Assassin's Creed 2 I think would be a good starting place, because that's like one of the Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood are like, I think in my opinion, 2 of the best Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah, Brotherhood is my favorite Assassin's Creed. That's when you have to be an assassin.
Facts.
In those games. The new ones you can just straight up brawl. But
yo, facts.
Nah, you really truly like Assassin's Creed had fell off for me, where I just don't get the urge to play an Assassin's Creed game. The last one I actually played was Syndicate, which I actually was enjoying that with the two
the brother and sister,
the guy and the girl. That was pretty cool.
That was a good story. I like that. Yeah.
But the newer ones I haven't got into yet. Origins, the Odyssey, and Valhalla. I haven't played yet, man. One of these days I'll probably dive into them, but I just haven't really got the urge.
Origins is good.
Assassin's Creed yet.
Origins is really good. Odyssey, I got a ways into Odyssey and then I fell off. And Valhalla, you know what it is, man? Like Origins was like a big map, but it was still manageable. With Odyssey and especially Valhalla, man, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just too much. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
Is, like, I don't mind the whole big. You know, people be like, "Yo, they burnt on the Ubisoft."
Nah, it's not even about being burnt out.
I don't mind that stuff. It's just, yo, I played a lot of Assassin's Creed, bro. I promise you, Brotherhood, bro. If PlayStation could like track hours, yo, I put a lot of hours in Brotherhood, yo. I was doing so much in that game, man. I loved the hell out of the game, leveling up all the assassins, just whistling them down, and then come down to snipe. Yo, it was a great time with that game, man.
Nah, it definitely was. I just think like, yo, man, I'm no open world fatigue, not at all. I just think like, yo, like, I don't know, man. It's just like with Odyssey and Valhalla, it's so much on the map, bro. I get overwhelmed, man. It's very overwhelming at times. I'm just like, yo, and I end up just falling off. and that's it. I always say I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna finish these. I'm gonna finish this, finish that, and then I get back into the game, and I'm on a mission.
You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't know. Yo, I'm on a mission, and then like 3 more missions pop up. So I'm doing this and doing that, and I got 10 missions in my log, and this and that, this and that, this and that. I'm just like, yo,
if you got that game of OCD like me, yo, you definitely.
And I'm trying to do every little thing. Like I'm trying to collect every little thing. I'm trying to do every little thing. I'm riding down the road, and some random side person flags me down to do some crazy quick quests. So I'm doing this and doing that. I can spend like thousands of hours in these newer Assassin's Creed games.
Really and truly, I respect people that can just like drive through a game that's just play the story and it's like I'm done. I can't do that, man.
Nah, I gotta do everything.
I tried my best to do that. There's times where you know when you playing an RPG, but like I'm about to just do story and then see what I get. And then that one mission pop up, you're just like, nah, I gotta go. There's a question mark there. I gotta go.
You gotta go to it. Yep. And that's what Valhalla and Odyssey, man. Those maps are huge. You're gonna be doing a lot. So I get it. But yeah, I'm excited nonetheless, man. Like you know what it is? Assassin's Creed. So there's 3 games that kind of have me in a chokehold. Because I've been a big Assassin's Creed fan for the longest, since the very beginning. So Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, Watch Dogs. I love Watch Dogs 2. I got Watch Dogs Legion. I still got to go finish that. But those 3 games are games that I'll still like buy and especially COD. I'm a big COD head. I'll buy and play and support. Always. I always buy them and support them and play them. So, but yo, let's move on, man. Yo, Bari, remember when I've been talking about? We've had this conversation about the Versus series for a long time. We've always talked about it. You always say your favorite Versus game was Street Fighter versus X-Men. No, Clash of Heroes. Clash of Heroes. Yep. Clash of Heroes.
Marvel vs. Capcom.
Marvel vs. Capcom. Clash of Heroes.
Clash of the Superheroes.
Marvel, and I've always said Marvel vs. Capcom. Absolutely. Like let's not get it twisted. But Capcom versus SNK. More specifically, Capcom versus SNK 2. First one was great, but SNK 2 was phenomenal. One of the greatest versus games, in my opinion, to ever release. Well, we might be getting another one soon, right? Hopefully, Lord willing, right? But speaking with VGC, Yasuyuki Oda, the producer and designer who has spearheaded SNK's fighting game revival in recent years, he did direct King of Fighters 13, Samurai Showdown, and KOF 14 and KOF 15. He has suggested that a new installment in the crossover series could finally be feasible. Oda had referenced collaborative promotional posters, which were released at this month's 2022 EVO Fighting Game Tournament, featuring artwork from both SNK and Capcom games. And when asked about it, he says it's definitely in the future. That's something that I think everybody on all sides in both parties are interested in making a reality. So he's saying that it's on his radar. So this is something that could definitely be happening soon. Would you want another Capcom versus SNK game?
Yeah, I enjoyed Capcom versus SNK. I felt like at the time when I was playing that game, I couldn't wrap myself around with a lot of the groove systems and all that stuff. But I was just playing like, all right, I'm thinking of groove systems like how the Alpha series is and all that stuff. Yeah. But it's much deeper than that, to be honest with you. For like the knowledge that I have now in fighting games, I wish I had it back then when I was playing the game. So if they was to bring something back like that, what I mean? I feel like I'll be a much better fit for that game. Cause that game was amazing, bro. Yeah. Especially part 2. Yeah, part 2 was amazing. Yeah. So they're bringing these back. Like I think they should bring all these fighting games back, man, because people are just so more knowledgeable. You can get information much quicker now when it comes to fighting games, and just having that stuff at your disposal.
You can also build these games more. Make these games more expansive now too. They're not limited by hardware anymore. So it's like, just imagine what you can finally play them online.
Well, proper online if they add a rollback. Yeah.
Robert, are you into fighting games in any chance?
It's not my main thing. I'm listening to you guys talk, and all I can think of is Tekken 2 right now.
Okay.
I'm still thinking about that to this day.
Tekken's a great series as well, by the way. Great series.
Fighting games. fighting games are not my main because I suck. I am horrible at it, and everybody can own me. So yeah, I'll let you guys with the real skill enjoy those.
That's what's
Hey
up.
man, I suck too, Robert. So you know what I mean. Trust me, I get beat up a lot in fighting games as well, man. But you just gotta learn from the mistakes.
I smoked way too much weed growing up that my mind can't wrap itself around all the buttons and combos and whatnot. So
Gotcha.
I gotta go back to the playing Team Fortress 2 which I've been playing for like a decade. Something I can actually play well. That's my jam.
When in doubt, just mash, man.
Yo,
You know what I mean? Just mash.
yo, that's a fact, though. The way these fighting games are built these days, yo, listen, someone
Go
mash
for
it.
the small goals. Like, you're not gonna perfect me. I'm gonna mash right here.
Yo, listen, I tell people all the time, man, if I'm losing and they on their way to a perfect, if I get one hit, that's a personal win for me. That's all that matters. But not yet. Capcom versus SNK 2. If they were to make a 3, I would love that wholeheartedly. Speaking of like versus series, I actually bought the arcade machine, the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 arcade machine. It went up on sale.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, through Target. So I grabbed it. So I'm gonna have all those games back. So I'm really excited for that.
Yo, I'm very tempted with that, man. But I feel like they're gonna announce a console version, and then I'll be like, I would personally feel like, damn, why did I buy this?
I think for me, I would want it just because of that arcade feel. Like I used to live in arcades as a kid. After school, getting a slice of pizza and a Coke, and playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2, playing Mortal Kombat and all that stuff. So for me, it's that nostalgic feel. So I was like, you know what, seeing this, it's one of my favorite fighting games of all time. It's a no-brainer. I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's grab that.
Yo, kids nowadays, they wouldn't survive the arcade
Absolutely
environment, man. Yo, they wouldn't know how to act because now you have somebody personally right there talking shit. Or if you win a lot, they would talk shit to you, or they might try to intimidate you, try to punch you or something. You gotta know how to
Take your
defend yourself
quarters.
Yeah, man. Arcade days was rough. Yeah,
it's legendary, man. It shaped us all, man. As adults, it shaped us. So I'm very appreciative of those times, man. So shout out to Capcom. I hope they do. I hope SNK and Capcom definitely make this a reality. Let's get into some God of War talk, man. Let's talk about God of War. Boy. Do it, Bari. There you go. All right, so listen, we haven't gotten an official state of play or nothing like that, but Game Informer did confirm that they are going to be doing an exclusive expose this month with God of War. We'll be getting some interviews with some of the members of the team and getting some sneak peeks at some, not whole playthroughs, but some sneak peeks at some gameplay. And one of the cool things that we talked about this week was God of War's combat lets you play with your food. So shout out to the lead combat designers Mahir Seith and Denny Ye, who both have 17 years of combined experience working on the God of War franchise in general. So one of the philosophies that he spoke about in this interview with Game Informer was that motto around the studio is playing with your food. So one of the quotes that he talks about is, that's an internal philosophy that we've had since back in the day. Kratos plays with his food. We try to create systems you want to engage with that are fun, very playful, lots of different routes. And when we looked at the combat in the last game, we were like, we can push this further. We can find new toys and ways of playing with enemies and strategies. That's been the guiding principle more than anything else. So, I think we've seen that in some of the gameplay that we saw, that like Kratos definitely has a lot more at his disposal.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna show, shout out to Game Informer as well, because they did show us 1 minute and 40 seconds of small. Some of it is stuff we've seen in the first trailer, but there's also there's little pockets of new things there. I want to have this playing in the background, but Robert, I heard you laugh. Let's explore that really quickly. What's that laugh about? Can you tell us?
It's a funny playing with your food. It's a funny thing to me. I'm very curious what they mean by that. I'm thinking there's probably going to be a lot more combos that you can chain together. Like just off the top of my dome, that's what I'm thinking. That may be alluding to. Just like having a lot more ways to combo, chain combos and to slap the hell out of the enemies. But it should be interesting to see.
Was that type of philosophy, because you worked on God of War 2018, was that the kind of philosophy that you also experienced going into that development process?
I honestly did not hear that at all when I was there. Okay. But I didn't work so much on the gameplay side. Okay. I was working on the cinematics, so it wouldn't surprise me if that was talked about a lot by developers and whatnot, but or designers, I should say. Okay. But yeah, I'm thinking there's just going to be a lot more to for combos. I'm not sure. What do you think?
Yeah,
I agree 100%. He's definitely talking about new routes that you're going to take. With the combat system, because in the brief snippet video we saw, brief. We saw a lot of new like moves that Kratos was doing, and it's like more like lunge type jump moves that I saw him doing, where you had the ice one or you had the fire one. It's like a lot of AoE attacks that will prop the enemies up in the air or hold them still, where you can just do some combo stuff. And God of War 2018 had some really unique routes as well that you can take, this combat wise. Like it made you, it was much more grounded, but you still can explore and play around with what Kratos and all the abilities with the runes and all that stuff could do. But from this little snippet here, I already seen like some new stuff or some additional stuff from previous games that they added in here, like that gut stab with the Blaze of Chaos. That was like an old school move, but I like the fact that they have where now he threw each move had like a special ability. He threw the axe and like the enemy froze up in his entirety, and then he did like a shoulder bash and knocked the enemy down. And then after that enemy exploded, it created another AoE attack to freeze the other enemy, gave him time to attack. I thought that was mad cool as hell. And I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, man. Just that little snippet got me hella excited, because I know they're going to do so much more, and I know they added more moves and specials and all that stuff to them.
So I'm liking that grapple mechanic there.
So
with the hook and all that. Yep.
So one of the things that I think they're subtly confirming here as well is Kratos might have a jump button.
Yeah, because
I was jumping around.
He had a jump button, but it looks like each move that he's doing there is like a lunge special move that he's doing.
Yeah, it might be a lunge, but I'm obviously playing around. But I think when it comes to his movement, like Kratos definitely seems more mobile in the gameplay that we're seeing here. He's definitely more mobile. He's got more movement, absolutely, which I think is a welcomed addition. You feel me? When it comes to what they were talking about with the combat, they were definitely talking about how there's going to be tons of different ways that you can approach the combat, but also there were certain button choices that they wanted to kind of explore a little bit more. One of the things was the triangle button. So now with the triangle button, I want to make sure I'm right here. Now with the triangle button, you should be able to change to another weapon or repeatedly tap it to change to something and chain into a different type of combo structure within the game. One of the other things that I'm
easier to weapon switch.
Yeah, weapon switch. I think
if you hold it, it does like a special ability.
Yeah, it does a special ability. Yeah, and then one of the other things I'm noticing about the shield as well is that remember how in the first game with the shield, whenever you perfectly parried something, it would do like this force push type of thing it would hit them. Now, like if we look with the shield now, he doing a lot more with this shield. He's slamming the ground. And he actually smacking them with the shield and all this crazy stuff. I can definitely see where they are definitely expanding the combat. I see how expanded it is, like already just off this snippet. I would have loved to see more, but what we're seeing right now, I think is great. Like this definitely has me really excited, because hearing the developers say what they're saying about, you know, playing with your food and having more routes and strategies, and then seeing little snippets like this, I definitely see the philosophy in the gameplay. So I'm really excited. Like, yo, listen, God of War is one of my most anticipated games this year. I can't wait for this game. I got 3 days off for this game. That whole week from Thursday to Friday, I'm off. Right? Oh, I can't wait for this game. Okay,
it's a small little indie title.
It's really
exactly.
It's DLC.
Exactly.
It's really,
is
it's
it?
really good
Said
to
the
hear
magic
and
word.
see that stuff,
looks
because
like DLC.
this is the reason why. This is the reason why I love like Devil May Cry and all that, because that's the philosophy of Devil May Cry. Play with your food. Like they give you so much you know, weaponry and moves and stuff to do, and you just be creative of what you want to do. And it seems like they're going to do that much more with Ragnarok this year. So I'm excited, man. I'm happy.
And we're already seeing new enemies as well. I mean, these are new enemies. Like, you know, like
and he's using the Blaze of Chaos like different ways. Like he's either like pulling the enemy towards him, or he's going towards the enemy. Like I'm loving that, yo.
Yeah, that's gonna be big.
Easily 200 and some hours in this game for sure. So I'm gonna try to create shit.
Yep. Trust me, you're gonna see a lot of clips, a lot of combo clips, a lot of gameplay clips, a lot of screenshots from me when this game comes out. I promise.
And he has different shields. Persona.
Yeah, he's got different shields.
Circle shield.
Yep. Which I'm assuming as well that the other shields are gonna do more, have like their own abilities now. I think as well.
They're gonna treat it more like a weapon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shout out to Sony Santa Monica. Shout out to the team.
I think a lot of people are waiting to see how they're going to approach the boss fights. I know there was some little bit of disappointment with the 2018 version on kind of reusing some of the trolls and whatnot. I know a lot of gamers had a little bit of disappointment in that regard.
Yeah, definitely one of the critiques with it, that the repetitive, like, you know, bosses, it made sense lore wise. It's kind of like the Elden Ring effect. For Elden Ring, there's a lot of repeat bosses, but it made sense lore wise. Like every single troll lore wise is different, but you know, it's the same move sets and all that.
Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
quite sure the folks at Santa Monica recognized that as a area of improvement. So yeah, I'm super excited to see where they take that. And we all want to fight that giant chicken, right? So that's what I want.
Oh yeah, facts.
Yeah, I have a lot of faith that Sony Santa Monica definitely heard the criticisms with the boss fight elements. Because I mean, really and truly, like the troll fights, I think they definitely were very repetitive, but I think they still, like Bari said, I think they were very different in their own right. But I understand the criticism and I agree. And I have faith. I think they're definitely going to change. They're going to surprise us. I believe it. I believe it.
I have faith because we seen that right here. This little snippet, this little 1 minute and 30 something seconds. It looked like that's all early level stuff. I'm seeing enemies at level 1. And you're doing all of this already just off the rip of being level 1.
Yep.
So I'm just like, yo, imagine when you get to like level 50 and you get all the armor and all. Oh my god, yo, you about to go crazy.
I want to see if Atreus has any new weaponry. Like,
I'm curious about that too.
Access to the axe or, you know, the blades.
We already know
what's gonna happen.
I think it's safe to say that, you know, Kratos is getting Mjolnir. You know, he's never getting a hammer. Like I
lose my shit, boy.
You're not putting the hammer in the collector's edition, and we're not using that in the game. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. Like you're just not doing that. Like I don't see nobody doing that. And like, oh yeah, we're gonna give you a collector's edition of a hammer you can't use in the game. So I think that's them being like, hey, look, you about to be smacking fools with the hammer. But it would be cool if Atreus, you know, outside of the bow, you might have a staff or something like that. Like, who knows? Like, I hope they do also expand Atreus, because that was one of the other things. You know, I did like Atreus a lot as a character, and he did come in clutch with certain combat elements, but he was really confined to just, you know, tap 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 to extend the combo for Kratos. You know, and then
my extender.
Yeah, he was the extender. Like he extended the combo or whatever, but he didn't really, outside of the super where like you can have the birds or the wolves or whatever. He didn't really, you know, he wasn't really. He was a big part. I don't want to say he wasn't a big part, but I would like to see his role in live combat expanded just a little bit more, and we see snippets of that as well. Go ahead.
No, I apologize. Totally jumped on you there. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that I bet we get to play as Atreus, firsthand. Like he'll be the main character for a duration of the game, kind of like how you can play Ellie for a little bit, play Joel. I'm betting that we're gonna be able to do that, and his side piece is gonna be with him on that.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah,
well.
I guess I could definitely. Yeah, I can see that as well. Hey, yo, y'all heard
Angerboga? What's the name?
Agrabonda or something like that? Yeah, that'd be dope. I could definitely see that as well. I could definitely see that. Man, I'm so excited.
I feel like this game is going to be a pretty long game.
They already said it's going to be like 50 out. It's all 9 realms, and this is the last game in the series. This game is easily 50 hours.
Atreus sequence.
Yeah, we definitely are. There's no way this game is easily going to be 40, 50 hours, and I'm here for it. Like midnight, I'm on it. I can't wait, man. I cannot wait. All right, quick rapid fire news, and then we'll get into the topics, and then we'll get up out of here. So real quick, Tokyo Game Show is happening in the next couple of weeks, and a lot of the developers and publishers are now confirming that they're going to be there. There's a lot more, but I only want to focus on 2. So the first one is Square Enix. Obviously, we know Square Enix is going to be there, and they've already put out their lineup of what's going to be at Tokyo Game Show. So Forspoken, Valkyrie Elysium, Star Ocean, Divine Force, Romancing Saga, Minstrel Song Remastered, Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII Reunion. Also with Crisis Core, this game is going to be on display at Tokyo Game Show, so you will be able to play this at Tokyo Game Show. I'm excited for this because I'm sure we're going to get I think we're going to get a release date here, but I also want to see more gameplay, like actual gameplay. So I can't wait to see that. Voice of Cards, The Beast of Burden, Diofield Chronicles, Near Automata, The End of Yorha Edition, Harvestel, Tactics Ogre Reborn, Power Wash Simulator, Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, might get a new trailer.
Yes,
Final Fantasy 16 might get a new trailer.
Get new information on that.
Yep. Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins. We might get DLC 2 announcement here.
DLC.
Yep. Dragon's Quest: The Adventure of Dai, A Hero's Bound. I think this is the mobile game. Romance.
I think so. Yeah.
Romancing the Saga Reuniverse, and last but not least, Final Fantasy 14 Online. I think we're gonna get the next expansion tease here as well. So that's Square's. And then last bit of news, Konami is going to be at Tokyo Game Show as well. And they described that they are going to be, they're described as being part of a series. They will announce a new game at Tokyo Game Show that is described as being a part of a series that is beloved around the world. Robert, Bari, what do you think that series is? Are we finally getting Metal Gear? A collection, a remaster, a remake, a new game? What do you think it is?
Absolutely not. It's gonna be a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Free-to-play game.
Yo, it better not be.
That you guys gonna download once again.
It better not be.
With different packs and stuff.
It better not be.
Hey, yo, so many people did not get that joke on Twitter. They were like, no, but we already have a Yu-Gi-Oh! KD, but I mean, you should download it. I already have it downloaded and played it.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? It was a joke. You know what I mean? Damn, people relax. But nah, I don't know if it's gonna be Metal Gear, man. I don't know if it's gonna be Metal Gear. And if it's Metal Gear, would you want a new Metal Gear, or would you want like a remaster or remake or whatnot? You know what I mean?
I want a remake.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if people will want a new Metal Gear, but we'll see.
Yep. What about you, Robert? What do you think it'll be?
I have no idea. I really don't know. I'm just thinking of that power wash simulator right now.
Yeah, bring that to PS5. Let's get it.
Yo, real talk, that would probably be the only simulator that I buy. Is Power Wash, because like I like watching like car detailing and like car cleaning videos and stuff like that already. So like being able to like do that with a game, I would definitely buy that 100%.
I'll buy that game too for sure.
Yeah, facts.
I was very tempted to get it on PC, but I was like, you know what? That PS5 version is coming.
Yes, it is. All right, man. Let's get into we made it to the news. We out of the news and into the topics real quick. Shout out to everybody in the chat. If you made it this far, man, give you your trophies. Right? You understand? This is a long episode, guys. Listen, quality content. We appreciate y'all. All right, man. So this week, like I said earlier in the show, guys, this is the first month of not the first month. This is the first podcast of the year. Of the month. So every first podcast of the month, we do our community topics, right? And a couple of y'all asked some really good questions, man. So we're gonna get through these real quick. Shout out to everybody that did write a topic for this show for this month. And we're gonna start with Kyle. Shout out to Kyle. So Kyle says, I have a feeling this could be a decent discussion. What stages in Sonic Frontiers cyberspace levels would you like to see? Apart from what was shown from the Gamescom demos already? Chemical Plant, Green Hill City, and Sky Sanctuary are already shown, like Cool Edge from Sonic Unleashed, Astro Coaster from Colors, etc. I'm gonna be honest with you, Kyle. I'm so far removed from Sonic. I can't even tell you.
A Sonic fan.
Yeah,
everybody was like, "What the hell?"
I can't even tell you. Like, if Chemical Plant and Green Hill Zone are there, I'm gonna be honest. I'm happy because those were two of my favorite places. Also, what was that Las Vegas looking area? What was the name of that area?
Carnival joint.
Yeah, what was the name of that area? I forgot the name of that area.
I forgot the name of it.
If that area is in the game, that'd be dope. I think that would be pretty cool. What do you think, Robert? Are you a big Sonic fan?
I can't say that I am. I appreciate him. He, love for him, but
You're talking about Casino, yeah, Casino Night.
Casino, yeah. If Casino Night is there, I'm happy, really and truly. But Green Hill Zone and Chemical Plant are there, I'm already happy off rip because those are two legendary places that I remember from a child. But I know Kyle's like a mega Sonic fan. I'm gonna be honest with you. My Sonic game playing time, I fell off after, what was that? Heroes? I think it might have been Heroes. I fell off after that. Or I forget which one on PS2. I fell off heavy. But, shout out to Kyle. ViperReap's Corner, appreciate you. He says, we all know PlayStation came to be in the mid-90s and is still going strong today. But every cycle, no matter what it is, has a born, peak, and death cycle. Where do you think PlayStation is as a whole over the last 27 to 28 years? Has it peaked already and is on the downslide, or are we in peak right now? Where do you think we are in the life cycle for the PlayStation as a brand? Great question by Viper. Robert, how about you start us off? What do you think?
That's an essay question right there.
Yo, facts,
that is indeed, that is a lot to unpack right there, and who knows for sure. But so we kind of have to go by vibes, intuition, and information, of course. But I think this is the best time for gaming. Like, how can we look at all of the things we have to play and not feel that way? I personally feel that way. Yes, there was, times in the past with PS3 and whatnot, and different times when it was like, yo, this is an amazing time for gaming, and I think we're there still. Like, PlayStation as a company, they need to expand into different areas to ensure that longevity. I have a lot of faith that they are super smart about what they're doing. That's why I like working for them. And I think, games these days take way longer to come out. So a lot of people may be feeling that, oh, where's the games? Why isn't PlayStation telling us about everything that's going on? and those are valid concerns. But things, take years to develop these days. So there's going to be times when you feel like we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's coming down the pipeline. And now I'm a little bit concerned about this. But me personally, I'm not concerned at all about it. I think we're in a great time for gaming. There's some of the best games we've ever played on the market right now and coming down the pipeline. Not everything's going to be a banger, right? Not everything's going to be great or something we want to purchase. But yeah, what do you guys think?
Man, I think that I don't think PlayStation has hit their peak yet, because we're constantly seeing the reports as far as they're breaking a new milestone or new record as far as revenue coming in, profit coming in. Also, they're continuing to innovate within gaming by adding new ways to play, like VR, the DualSense, and it's not a new way to play, but it's adding more immersion and ways to play and stuff like that. So I don't think they really hit the peak yet. We'll see. But if they're continuing to innovate within their games and continue to push the boundaries with gaming and setting the bar, it's hard to say if they hit the peak or whatnot. They'll have to have like a really bad year, or just like, we're seeing the same type of stuff and the same games and same ways to play. And then we'll, from there we'll see. But I don't think they really hit their peak yet, even being in the game that long, because we're seeing new stuff from PlayStation. So yeah, but damn, that's a question right there.
That's like a
I really want to sit
itself.
down and like break that down, rather than answer it in a 3 minute, 5 minute.
That might have to be a We Gonna Talk. You feel me?
Yeah, that's a podcast. That's a really good question to break down.
Yeah, I agree though. I think when it comes to PlayStation, even when we look from last generation to this generation, we see that they're expanding upon gaming with the DualSense controller, right? Where now we're actually feeling what's in the game. That's innovation. When we look at the PlayStation VR 2 and the innovation that's going to be coming down the pipeline with that, I think PlayStation have done a great job of innovating. And even when you look at the PS5 and its internal components with the Smart Shift, right, with the cache scrubbers, with the custom based RDNA2 based chips and all this other things that are built specifically for PlayStation 5 and to help developers create the best games possible on PlayStation. I think PlayStation is still in their prime, personally speaking.
Yeah.
They're still innovating. They're still creating amazing games.
No, Michelle, let me tell you.
You're absolutely right, Persona. I see it every day that there's a continual strive in PlayStation Studios for us to innovate and to continue to push the bar. No one is at a point of let's just do whatever.
Yeah.
You never see that at a PlayStation studio. You never see that. It's always like, how can we make this better? How can we take this to the next level?
Yep.
How can this become more fun for the consumer? And what are areas that we can innovate and expand and try new things, take risks? That's a continual mindset at the studios, and I think that will always be the case. I don't think we're ever going to get to a point where it's like, just put it out. Who cares what it is?
Yeah.
No,
I agree.
Quo.
Like, we're still seeing that. I think the moment we stop seeing that is when I think they'll be on the downslide. But as of right now, I just don't see that as of yet. But appreciate you for the question, Viper. Yo, Viper, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna tackle that in greater length on my show as well. That was a really, really great question. That makes you think. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Viper. UpChuckGaming. Shout out to UpChuckGaming, man. Make sure y'all check out Plus on Block podcast every Friday. I was gonna say every Saturday, every Friday evening at 8:30 Eastern time with UpChuckGaming and Dreology. Those are two great dudes out here in the gaming community. If you're into fighting games, definitely check out their podcast. But appreciate you, Chuck, man, for giving us a topic. He says, feels like Sony isn't as social as they used to be. You guys should speak on ways for them to get back on track. This is a good one because, Bari, I know you and I have been very, very vocal over the past year or more of PlayStation's lack of communication, or not lack. Let me not say lack of, but kind of flat. That's not the word I want to use, but very distant. Yeah, very like distant. Yeah, very, very distant communication. I'll let you tackle this. Robert, you as well. You know, like,
this is very interesting to me. Honestly, I see this often. I know you guys have expressed this as well. And the thing that comes to my mind is two things. A, and I understand where you're coming from and where people are coming from. A, what type of information are you expecting to get? And B, keep in mind that these products, as I've mentioned times, are huge, massive undertakings that take numerous years. So when products are, if a game, it has a 5-year development cycle, and many of the games that are in development now may be early on in that cycle, this ties into A, what sort of information are you expecting to be told?
So that's a great question. So, from my perspective, I understand that, you know, PlayStation has their own type of news timeline, right, where they want to give certain things, right. But from my perspective, it's more so. There have been a numerous of times that we kind of caught PlayStation where leakers and misinformation crowd kind of beat them to the punch to where now they're in damage control mode or having to put out the proper information earlier than it should have been because of this misinformation. So my whole thing is more so PlayStation. I want PlayStation to be a little bit more forthcoming in the beginning stages of things. So perfect example is Last of Us 1 Remake, right? You know, we saw all these things about, you know, that leaked gameplay and how it wasn't this, it wasn't that, and blah, 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 right? But then when we looked at the actual video that Naughty Dog did, I think they did a great job of explaining what you can expect from this remake for Last of Us, right? I feel like if PlayStation would have put that out around the same time that this was being announced at Summer Game Fest, even if this gameplay would have leaked, this information was already out there as to the expectations of what this is. And I think them being a little more clear in their messaging would have been a little bit more forthcoming in what they had in there in the tuck could have stopped all of that. So that's my whole thing. I want PlayStation to be just a little bit more forthcoming. I know you have news cycles and all these other things, but certain things you got to give a little bit more. Now, last year when I was speaking on it, they were putting out news articles that just didn't, you know, had no pictures, no visuals. It was kind of just like bland, like, oh, here's this, blah. Like, you know, but they got a lot better with that. I would want, and even when it comes to like games and things like that, I think they're pretty good with that. But I do think they're still kind of slow to the draw when it comes to certain things that's being announced and putting out that information, but also getting people excited for the future. You know, it's that's my whole thing.
Understood.
Bari, what do you think?
Yeah, I feel like they're being a little bit less social than they normally would be because the prior generation, they had things like PlayStation Experience where you have direct communication to your fan base, to your audience, you know, just on the show floor and, you know, having a specific show geared towards them. I think that, I don't know if this is true, but it feels like we're getting less like state of plays as well. I don't know if that's particularly true, but this year, I think we got how many, like 2 or 3? You know, within a month with all these games and information that's there, I feel like state of play should be like a constant thing that should be happening, you know, probably every 2 months or something. But like I said, that stuff take money. I think PlayStation, they're they're being a little bit more conservative with their money because obviously there's acquisitions that's being done and they're trying to cement themselves as far as the future, with services and PC and mobile. You know what I mean? So certain things are going to get cut off, but I feel like those things that being cut off are the things that, connect you to the fan base. And in my personal opinion, I feel like there is a little disconnection there. Not saying that they're not producing the news, but I'm just feel like if you experience something like PlayStation experience, and then now you're coming into this generation and there's nothing like that, you know what I mean? It's obviously a big change within like, being social and, just interacting with fan base. But that's just something, that's my little personal gripe. Some people, they don't really give a fuck about that shit. They don't care about that. But
I think you guys both have some extremely valid points. And I agree with them. It's something that I wonder, there's different things in play here, and I wonder if some of it is what happens if we have too much information. Mm-hmm. So, oftentimes you don't want to shoot let's see, how can I say this nicely? There may be youngsters listening. If you have a game that's like 3-4 years out, we want to hear about what Studio X is working on, but you often don't want to give that information too soon. So I know, Persona, I've heard you talk a few times about you were wanting more information about The Last of Us gameplay and stuff like that prior to the leakers jumping the gun on everyone. And when I would listen, I didn't say anything at the time because the game wasn't out yet, but I was listening to you and I was like, I personally would see where those trailers were at in development, and a lot of it wasn't yet, and maybe that was something that needed to be done. Kind of, they may have needed to get ahead of that a little bit, and I think that's valid. But I think also some of it just wasn't ready yet. Some of those videos, and it was still, those videos, those trailers that they release are under the same scrutiny as everything else, and it honestly, it takes weeks for those things to get put out, or to get created and put out. And they have a release schedule on that, of course. And so when some idiot jumps the gun and is releasing leaks from old builds or whatever it may be, yes, that does put them under pressure to expedite that information and those releases. But it may just not have been ready yet, which in some of those cases it wasn't ready yet, and they did have to do a little damage control in that regard. And you always want them to give us the information before these stupid effing leakers. But I mean, we run the risk of too much information. Like I couldn't see something Bari mentioned like every 2 months. Like, how would that even work? You know what I mean? To where it's like,
I feel like they always, announcing games and showing trailers of games on Twitter. You can compile that into like a video format, but I know that stuff like takes, a lot of money and production and all that stuff. So I understand it, but I'm just saying, like, personally, I would love to see that stuff
for sure,
where you have a constant communication to the fans. You know what I mean?
So let's look at a company that does that. Looks like Bungie does well with that sort of thing, right? But their game is already out. So are we talking about games that have not been released yet? Is that what you would be interested in?
Games that's not been released yet, like, not to bring up Nintendo, but I feel like Nintendo do a really good job in the directs as far as like, I feel like the directs are consistent enough where, you know, some people can be expecting a direct to come. But with a PlayStation experience, you just don't know when that motherfucker coming. You just like, you know, we gotta wait until PlayStation announce it, you know, because it's not as consistent. It's not a direct communication to fans that's consistent enough that's happening. Where if a state of play does happen, it's like, oh shit, a state of play. You know what I mean?
So I have a question for you. I'm just picking your brain out of curiosity and learning. Does it make you more excited that it's kind of a surprise, or is this something you want to be able to anticipate? What would you like? What would be more exciting for the consumer in that regard?
That's a good question, because it's a 50-50, you know, flip with that. You know, a surprise is always exciting because you don't want nothing, you know, to be too drawn out. But also the anticipation of something coming is exciting as well. Like I lean towards more the anticipation, because, like I said, the anticipation of it is just giving me a consistent communication level from PlayStation to the fans. Like a surprise is cool as well, because I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm not excited if a state of play get announced tomorrow. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be like, oh man, what the fuck? I'll be excited as well for that, but I just feel like the consistency is just much better for me as a gamer, rather than just the one-off surprise.
I understand. It's such a drawn out development cycle, though, right? Like, I think gamers with games, that have much shorter of a development cycle, it would likely be easier to provide that sort of information in trailers and at least some screenshots or at least some communication, right? And I agree with you. I totally understand. But then you when you look at these games that have these longer cycles where things change all the time throughout the course of development, and we saw it, for instance, with Cyberpunk, where people were expecting, they showed, I guess, some information where the main player character had some sort of hooks on the arms that could kind of traverse on the wall, and then that wasn't released with the game.
Oh yeah, that's
so
Cyberpunk.
You run that risk.
Cyberpunk was all messed up.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. I think,
but that's the kind of risk we're talking about here, where it's like, hey, everyone, we're doing this thing.
Well, that's the thing, though. I don't think it needs to be. I don't think it needs to be the
mechanics,
like the whole game, right? Like, because I understand that, you know, things take time. Developers are, you know, showing vertical slices or whatever XYZ. Like, I get all of that. I just think when it comes to that excitement, like I love to be surprised, absolutely. And it's funny because even with God of War, for weeks I was saying, oh yeah, you know, we're gonna get the news this week, that week. You know, when it finally came, you know, one thing my grandma used to say, good news is always on time, you know. And I think when it comes to PlayStation and putting out showcase news or showing brand new games, you know, when it get here, we're all going to be excited equally the same. But I think it's that waiting period of when is where a lot of people, including myself, get a little hung up, because and I think part of this has to do with us being treated so greatly for so many years from PlayStation.
Right.
You know, it's just like, yo, I want the next thing. I want the next fix. Obviously, God of War is right around the corner. But, you know, I also want to see Spider-Man 2. I want to see Wolverine. I want to see what Ben's working on. I want to see what, you know, Pixar, what is it, Media Molecule, whoever. I want to see these 10 live service games. I want to see Factions 2. I want to see Deviations game. There's just so much that we don't know that has been announced, that has been confirmed by PlayStation, that we're still in the dark about. You know, Herman Hulse and Jim Ryan were the ones that told us 25 games are in development, and over half of those are brand new experiences. We were told 10 to 12 live service games. So I think the anticipation that's building up with fans, PlayStation built this up by telling us this stuff, albeit maybe prematurely.
But they did tell you something.
No,
though.
they did. No,
So
they did. You're right. They did.
I don't think PlayStation. I know for a fact they don't want to not give information. I'm sure they if they have these things that they could share with the community, that they want to do that. It's just that you don't want to shoot your shot too soon, and there's a lot of planning going on here. And of course, yeah, we want to know what's coming down the pipe, but I think it really just boils down to the information isn't really ready yet.
Yeah.
And we want to show the games in the best possible light that we can. So let's wait until we know for sure we have something that everyone is proud of and happy with.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure, at that point they're going to tell you, Persona, check it out, my dude. We got this fire game coming.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, and that's why I said, I go back to the saying of good news is always on time, right? Because it's I agree. I think for me personally, it's more so I'm impatient. I'm a very impatient person. So I just think the anticipation is built up so high for me when it comes to PlayStation and what's coming next. This is where I'm at, So
well, we don't want our gifts on Christmas Day. We want our gifts on Christmas Eve.
Man, listen, Robert. The way I am, I want the gifts on Thanksgiving. I want the gifts on Thanksgiving. You feel me? Like that's what I want, the goddamn gifts. But yeah, I mean, I understand where you're coming from as well, and I wouldn't want PlayStation to have a half-ass showing. Right, which they never really do, because they're very calculated. So I get it as well. I understand, 100%. All right, let's because it's going on 2:00, so I don't want to keep us here for 4 hours, 3 hours. All right, Birdman, appreciate you, bro. He says, "Hear me out. A partnership between Sony and Square in which we get a multiplayer FPS game developed by Deviation, in which you are a Shinra soldier trying to reach first class, and kill streaks are Shinra machines and summons. Do you think this can be a banger?" Hey, yo, Bird, if they steal your idea, they're going to have to pay you some royalties, brother, because that sounds fire. I ain't going to lie to you. Could you imagine getting a 10 kill streak and you summon Ramu? Like, that would be dope as hell to, do lightning on the map or whatever. That would be pretty dope. Bart, what do you think? That would be pretty cool.
I am intrigued. If I had millions upon millions upon millions of dollars, that would have been funded right there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We'd have been in some kind of talk, and we'd have got that thing going.
If I hit the lotto, I'm hitting up Square and PlayStation. So if I win like 500 million, I'm gonna throw them like 20 mil. Like, hey yo, man, like get this off the ground, man. We gotta get this going. Robert, what you think? That sound like a fun game to you?
Battle Royale shit. We want.
None of that battle royale. We need like COD level, like 6v6, 8v8 type shit. What you think, Robert? You intrigued by that?
Let's do it. Make it happen.
Exactly. Shout out to JGamerUK. Appreciate you.
Definitely tickled my fancies there, Bird.
Absolutely. JGamerUK, man, appreciate you for the for I was gonna say for the super chat for the topic. He says, with PlayStation VR 2 on the horizon, is the next big backlash / fake outrage going to be the price point, even though the specs make it one of the top VR headsets available? Yes.
You already know.
Absolutely. You see how they acted off his remake? Oh shit. They gonna see that $500 price on that PSVR 2 and they gonna lose their minds, yo.
Every day is a new outrage on Twitter, man. And when listen, people are setting themselves up for failure when it comes to VR as far as the price point. I've seen people say $199. If you're looking at the specs of what PlayStation VR 2 is, there's no way that thing is going to be no $199. And those people right there already is going to be on Twitter raging, how dare PlayStation charge $500, $600 for this?
It's the same price as the console.
Yeah, but everything that if you look at the spec for spec, as far as a comparative level on like PC, those VR headsets like $800, $1,000.
Yep.
The specs that PlayStation offer on PSVR 2.
Yep.
I know they're taking a hit when they launch it.
Yep.
But people saying $199 now, you're tripping.
I'm telling you right now, that PSVR 2 is gonna be $500 starting. It's gonna be $500 starting and probably $550 to $600 with the controllers added, because you're also getting the adaptive triggers and all that stuff. Like the controllers is brand new technology as well. Like I talked about this a long time ago. Right, I don't know if you remember when I was back in the early days of when I was doing YouTube, when I was talking about innovation costs money. It costs money to innovate. We can't sit here and say that we want new this, new that, innovations here, and not be willing to pay the price that it takes to have that type of stuff. And like with PlayStation VR 2, what I'm reading with the specs and stuff like that, it really looking to be amazing. And then Horizon Call to the Mountain, I'm there day one. You feel me? Like I'm happy to support that because I think it looks dope. Like and I love the VR stuff. What do you think, Robert?
I agree absolutely. I'm super excited to see, and obviously content is king. So we're gonna have to see what sort of games we're gonna get to play with that. But yeah, definitely the Horizon game that's coming up is probably gonna be really good. I mean, I would expect nothing less than high quality, and PlayStation doesn't miss, man. So I think they're gonna put out a high quality product. If it costs what it costs, whatever. I'll just have to wait until I feel like I can put that money aside for it, and maybe wait a little bit to get a couple games in the pipeline for it. Or depending on the experience, might just day one it. I don't know.
Yep.
We'll see. And didn't Oculus like raise their price on their VR headsets?
Yeah, they did.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
by $100.
Let me shut up, Bill.
Yo, this is the thing too, man. It's like, I know somebody gonna clip this and be like, oh, you see, they love when PlayStation charge them. Yo, let me chill, man.
You said it, Persona. Quality things and innovation cost money.
It does, man.
Yeah. I want to have a badass car, but I gotta pay for it. You can't always have what you want in life unless you pay for it.
Yep.
That's not PlayStation. It's just the reality of everything in life.
Yep. 100%.
Especially like a hobby. It's not a necessity. Like these are like luxury things that we're taking part of. So
exactly,
something like VR to push that innovation, like you said, it's going to cost. Especially if you want the quality. Everybody want the quality, but they don't want to pay.
I don't want to pay. Exactly. It's like, nah, brother. If I want to pay,
except
I want
for
quality,
one platform, but we're not going to go there.
If I want quality, I'm gonna pay for it, man. It's that simple, man. I'm not gonna complain about it. But last topic, man. Shout out to Unikronn. He says, future focused question. We, the world, are starting to open up. Is it possible that PlayStation experience can go bigger than just America? Could they do simultaneous shows but only broadcast one? Say Vegas, London, and Paris. Surely it's time for them to let the rest of the PlayStation family experience the PlayStation Experience show. We have the PlayStation Access guys over here who would be great at hosting the event, while Sid Shuman does the same across the pond. Just a thought. At this point, I would just love PlayStation Experience to be back. Even if they was like, oh yeah, PlayStation Experience is back, but it's gonna be in London. Yo, I would fly out to London for a week and go. Absolutely. I love PlayStation Experience. Like PlayStation Experience is I've went all years except for 1 year. I've been to every single PlayStation Experience and I love it, man. Being able to actually, but that's how we was able to get the damn Sean Layden interview. Because we met the man and I met Andrew House, Sid Shuman, Scott Rhodes, Shuhei Yoshida, Neil Druckmann, Corey Barlog, the Ghost of Tsushima devs, the band devs, David Jaffe. I have met all of these developers. I've personally spoken with them, shaking their hand, taking pictures with them. I've met them. I would love for that experience to come back 100%. Especially with Jim Ryan, because I ain't gonna lie to you. If they do announce a new PlayStation Experience and It's in London, wherever it is. I'm gonna be
That's
there,
what Ji-
and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, yo, Jimmy,
He ain't gonna be in America.
hey, yo, Jimmy, come here. Let me talk to you for a minute, brother. Come through. I'm like, oh, how you doing, fella? It's always great to meet a fellow gamer. I'm like, yeah, that's all good. Let me talk to you for a second.
I like Jim Ryan.
I love Jim Ryan. I think Jim Ryan's great.
With PlayStation, I think Jim Ryan is a good fit for PlayStation because
he's making the money.
PlayStation more successful than it ever has been.
He's making the money.
I just feel, I feel like, his viewpoints, he's like cutting the fat with certain things. Like I think his mindset is like, I don't really give a damn about that personal interaction with like a PlayStation experience. So I don't think we'll ever see something that will be unlike in Vegas, London, Paris. You're not going to see that because he's like, cut that money and put that towards something different so we can expand the brand, movies or mobile or PC.
I definitely think Jim Ryan is much more of an analytics guy. And I think he's looking at PlayStation experience and like, okay, if we do a PlayStation experience, what is our return on investment?
Yeah, what's going to be the cost?
He's a businessman. I mean, obviously, Jack Tretton and Sean Layden, they all were businessmen, but I think especially with Sean Layden, and listen, I like Jim Ryan as well. Like, I know a lot of people like to put dirt on Jim Ryan's name and all. Listen, man, you can't hate somebody that's making bread, and he is providing the games. Like, let's keep it a stack. Obviously, there's certain business decisions with PlayStation I don't agree with, but as a whole, Jim Ryan is doing his thing. But I think when it comes to like Sean Layden, and I guess this goes to us actually meeting him, he comes off a little bit more approachable. And even like his rapport
is being built more than just the game. It's like, okay, what I mean? It's like, oh, I don't know if we necessarily care, but it's like it gives that impression like, oh, we care about the community, we care about the PlayStation fan thoughts and how they feel about our product or services.
Yep.
We can have a discussion or talk to him about it.
Yeah.
Jim Ryan, you don't get that feeling from him, but he is delivering on what we think is most important, the games aspect. So.
Yep. What's your thoughts on PlayStation experience, Robert? Would you go to one? Have you ever been to one?
I've never been to one personally. I think those type of events are awesome. Super fun. I'm not trying to go anywhere right now with COVID and monkeypox.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, that's a good point, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't trying to. You're right.
I know we all miss those things, though. I've been to E3. I think the first E3 I went to was in like 1993, 94, somewhere around there. This is back when, before Game Developer Conference and all that stuff. But yeah, those are fun experiences. Talking to people, meeting friends, meeting other colleagues, seeing new games, getting hands-on with these new projects in development or that are coming soon. Being with like-minded people that have the same passions, same interests. It's fun.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Don't know what's coming down the pipeline for that.
Yep. I agree. Yeah, and then shout out to the Rec and Alfonso Carter. They didn't really add a topic. They just was like commenting, can't wait to see the show. And we already talked about the God of War trailer in our news, Alfonso. So yeah, we appreciate you for that. But remember, guys, man, listen, if you want to add to our topics for the first show of every month under a post, definitely consider joining the WUPS Nation, man. The link to that is in the description. And like I said, it's not mandatory, but it's always appreciated. And shout out to those that put up a topic for this week. Appreciate y'all. But guys, listen, we are at the end of the show. We gotta give y'all trophies and your platinum. They go to trophies. We're giving them trophies out like Naughty Dog, like Insomniac, like God of War, and they go that platinum. Shout out to the platinum. Listen, this was a great show. I really enjoyed it. We about to get into these outros, starting with you, Robert. We really appreciate you again for coming through to What's Up PlayStation podcast. It was really fun talking with you today and getting your perspective on gaming and the industry. And again, like I said, your journey through development and animation. Thank you for sharing that with us here on our show. But get the people the outro, let them know where they can find you. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm very thankful that you guys wanted to include me with you on the show. I got respect for you and Bari. I like the way you guys interact with people, and you have a huge passion and a lot of knowledge about games. It's super cool to be able to talk with you, and all the people out there that hung around and asked questions and listened to me babble on for a long time. But I'm on Twitter. I don't really like to promote myself, but yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to chat it up.
Now we appreciate you coming through, man.
Yeah, for sure.
We do our show pretty early, and everybody in different time zones. And if you came here, I mean that's mad respect here, real talk.
I did get to consume less coffee today than I normally would have by this hour, so but I won't hold it against y'all. I'm gonna go grab some coffee, but yeah, I had a great time talking to you guys, so
yeah, likewise.
I'm gonna sign off and thank you very much.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Appreciate you, Robert. And remember, guys, man, you can follow Robert on Twitter. The link to his Twitter is in our description, so definitely go give him a follow. He posts a lot of cool things and whatnot, a lot of things about gaming and whatnot. So definitely give him a follow. Bari, man, give us your outro. Let the people know what you got coming to your channel, and yeah.
Yeah, man. Appreciate everybody that came through today. Like I said, it's always much appreciated with you see everybody come in through the show consistently. The familiar faces. We got some new people that subscribe to the channel as well. So thank you, everybody that super chatted, everybody that became a member or read up their membership. We definitely appreciate all of that. Thank you so much. Thanks again to Robert once again for coming through.
Yep.
And giving his life story when it comes to development, man. The dedication is there and we see it. And just want to say thank you once again for all the stuff you've done with these games. But when it comes to me,
appreciate it.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of content coming from me this month. On the channel, it's gonna be a lot of streams coming from me as well. I have like an overview talk about ARMS Fantasia.
I forgot. That's what I forgot to talk about. My fault. I had it in the news outline. I'm sorry. I totally forgot to talk about that.
Good. I was going to repeat myself anyway because I just have to publish that video. And I have a God of War to break down to that, nice little snippet.
How long is that video? Did you already make it yet, or is it not made?
There is a lot of content coming because there's a COD reveal for the multiplayer. There's a beta. There's a TGS.
Yep.
Talking about some of that, that stuff's going to be showing. I'm not necessarily going to do a reaction to it, but I'm going to be doing a video that's breaking down majority of the trailers there, and the Marvel show as well. There's so much stuff to do, but yeah, got some stuff coming. Just be on the lookout where we gonna talk and speak from the heart as well.
Yes, sir.
So just stay in tune when it comes to that stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to Bari. And then for me, man, listen, guys, I was your host this week, Persona. My YouTube channel, Gaming with Persona. You can follow me on Twitter at Persona Speaks. And I got a lot. Like this month is gonna be crazy when it comes to content. So I'm still doing the reviews for Cult of Lamb, Thyamisi, and Rollerdrome. I just have to edit, really and truly editing on these I'm using DaVinci Resolve. Editing is not easy. And the video has to be a specific file format. And so all my videos on PlayStation are in WebM. So DaVinci's not compatible with that. And so I had to download all my videos onto a flash. It's a mess, right? But those are still going to come out next week. Also, Call of Duty. I'm going to do COD Sundays this Sunday. I'm working on I already got the Grows of Diamond, so we're going to be diamond out that XM3 or XMR. I forget the name of it. So we're going to play some COD this Sunday. And then if there's a PlayStation showcase, there's gonna be live reactions, breakdowns, and all that stuff. Also, what is it? The Disney thing. I'm doing a live reaction to that. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, whatever reveal they have, live reaction. We're talking about that. And then even with the beta, because the beta is in 2 weeks on the 15th, we streaming that. We streaming that hardcore. We doing my breakdowns. We going over that beta with a fine tooth comb. You feel me? So you're not gonna want to miss none of that. And then obviously when Persona Speaks next week as well. You know, we're gonna do our podcast and talk about a couple things. And that's probably it. That's really it, guys. Listen, I appreciate all of you. Once again, thank you to Robert for coming through and chopping it up with us on this Saturday morning episode of What's Up PlayStation Podcast. Also, shout out to the super chats real quick. Shout out to Chuck. Appreciate you for the super chat. He says shout out to the bros, and then shout out to Andy for the super chat. He says God of War 2018 boy, God of War Ragnarok sir. Shout out to the WUPS crew and Robert. Hope y'all having a great Last of Us weekend. Absolutely. And then Juan Sosa Gamer, appreciate you 2 months as a member on the channel. He says, damn, I'm mad late. What's up, Bari and Persona in chat? What's good, Juan? We appreciate you. And then ViperReap, appreciate you real quick for the super chat. He says, Sony could say, today we as a company are no longer eating pork, and there will be outrage amongst people for what?
Yo, fact.
Yo,
like, how you eat animals?
But yo, listen, man, this was a great show. Another great show in the books, man. Episode 97, What's Up PlayStation Podcast. Remember, guys, What's Up PlayStation Podcast is a podcast for the community, by the community. We hope you guys have a great long weekend, Labor Day weekend, and we'll see you guys next Saturday. Same time, same place, same crew, the WUPS crew. And we out. Peace.